Alrighty, we're live again. Okay, I just need to put some balancing music on here. Okay, let's get this set up and then we're ready to roll, people.
Health and safety. No. This is good.
Okay.
Crossing. You like this? You and your teammates get things done. Great. You want it to come easy, fun, and simple.
Oh, thank you guys.
Have the work for it.
I appreciate it.
Whether you're a small team,
Thanks for the compliment.
everyone will look.
So we're gonna go live, you guys.
Or replay. Click drag and drop.
Spirit guides, energies, and oracles that are coming through the box. We are live. We're going
Stay in control on the go without worry about and see exactly.
like this is. I don't like ads. Worry about what now? Worry about what? Why are you guys so worried about anything? Spend too much time worrying, you spend too much, wasting time on worrying. Hey Daisy, sorry for the interruption, you guys, but my brother came by and his female friend, was kind of going through, I guess, an issue, but I don't know. Anyways, that's all done and dealt with, so I shouldn't have any more interruptions for this stream. So we're going to try to take a peek at what's ahead this week for people. We're going to try to do a little bit more detailed energy for the week. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. Whenever I'm needed somewhere, that's what I do, right? I always try to be of assistance, but if the person doesn't want to ask for it and it's being suggested by somebody else, it's kind of a feeling of me that I would be intruding on her personal space. So unless she would have asked me for the actual specific reading, then I would have done it. But I think she's kind of a little bit shy, so I think that's probably why she doesn't know me, so she was really conservative and polite, so she didn't really come too forward. But my brother suggested it, so who knows, maybe next time that she comes by. I look out for my brother, that he's hanging with women that are going to be beneficial to his life experience, I guess. She's very nice, she's very genuine. First time I've met her. I don't really meet a lot of my brother's female friends. The last one I met, I was not turned or wanting to experience any more connection with her, let alone with my brother. I look out for my brother. Even though he's my older brother, I still look out for him like I'm a big sister. He's a good guy, though. He has good intentions, and that's the main part, right? He has good intentions. He treats women well. He deserves to be treated in exchange well, right? Not just taking advantage of his kindness for weakness, right? But he does have that thing for women. He's a womanizer sometimes, so... but I didn't feel that was the case with this one that came by. She seemed very nice, very quiet. It is cute, isn't it? It's sweet, that my brother would bring a girl over for me to meet after the last time it happened. I did not like her, and I showed my colors very clearly towards her. Okay, she wasn't one of a better choice of women for my brother, and I let her have it. Within 8 hours of meeting this girl, I wanted her out of my house. I didn't even, I just got that vibration that she had to go. So, but this one seems more genuine and actually wanting to be with my brother for a relationship purpose, right? So we'll have to see what's in store for that. But he's a big boy, he can take care of his own, but he always brings them ones that he likes by and kind of gets my feel for them. So she's nice. The spirit box told me that she was a bit too thin for herself, but my brother thinks she's just perfect, so that's what I mean. You give advice. If he's stuck on something, he's stuck on, he's stuck. He's like a fly with that, and the girl's the fly paper. You know what I mean? You stick to it. You can't get away now. You're stuck. You're stuck on this like something fierce. So he's like a pit bull, won't let go. So that's a good thing, you know. But he wanted me to do a reading, but I didn't want to intrude on her wanting to have the reading done. She wasn't, she didn't respond when my brother mentioned it. So, I'm not about to, you know, when people are ready for readings, they usually ask, right? So, you know, she seemed okay. Visit, hmm It was an oh dear after I was done. My brother just never seen that side of me. So, and I don't show that side very often, but it's the protective mama bear protecting her cubs kind of energy. I don't take kindly to people that are only in for, you know, taking advantage of someone's kindness. You know what I mean? I'm not into that. As you know from the channel, you know how well I work with people just taking advantage. I've expressed myself quite a bit. We're going to turn the lighting down because I want to have a nice, cool, relaxing moment now. It's nice and quiet in the evening. It's kind of nice not to be, too lit up. Do the low light thing. Okay. So, for having no lights shining in my house, it's actually pretty bright just with my laptop screen on. You know what I mean? Like, really, I don't even need any lights on behind me, but oh well. So, I did my hair a bit different today. I found a new style to actually make my hair look wavy. Kind of gives it that layer. Like, remember back in the 80s when you used to crimp your hair all over? And you used to or do it up in braids so you'd have like a crimped hair look the next day. Well, I found a way to change that so it's a little bit faster. And you look like you're wearing dreadlocks before you take it out. So what I do, and just give this little helpful hint for anybody that wants to change their hairstyle quickly. But if you can see, like, it's like kinked, right? And the easiest way that I found to get it to this texture, which is, I like it more because it gives my hair a little bit more body. It looks like I have more hair because I've got really fine hair, right? My hair is really, really fine. It's baby soft fine. But what I did was I take my hair. This is just, just until some more people show up. We're just going to chit chat for a bit. Is I take my hair, and if you have a hair flattener, is the best way. Like, flatten it with the hair. Your iron or even a curling iron would probably work. But you twist it up until you have like a thin piece of hair, and you keep twisting. Okay, let me try to get this so it looks even. Okay, so you have like a small amount of your hair. It takes about, if you have the hair like me, it'll take you about half an hour, 40 minutes to complete the whole process. But you turn it, you twist it up until it like really tight. So it's like you're twisting and twisting and twisting and twisting and twisting and twisting and twisting. Okay, so you're going to get like a really tight piece of twisted hair that you turn until it makes a long twisted braid. Then what you do is, when you start at the top with your flat iron, and you crimp and you push down on it every so often, so all the way down. You're going to go like that, and you're going to hold it on for 1 or 2 seconds. It seems like it might not need that much, but the thinner ones that you do it in, the better quality of crimp you'll get. So you just crimp down with your hot iron or even a curling iron. Just put the heat to it, and then you let it go, and it should stay there like this. So this is how you'll look. You'll have a bunch of these all around your head by the time you're done. But you put the heat to it, and it can be done either with a curling iron or a flat iron, something that puts heat onto it. Then you wait, you just leave it there, and you work on the next one. So the way that I start doing this, I don't start at the front, is I take my hair in the back and I divide it. Okay, so you take your hair and you pull down, only this part, and then you kind of crimp that and work your way up your scalp. And then I usually go from the back forward so that you can have the last one, so everything has a chance to cool and set, right? And then you just, run your fingers through it, kind of get it, a bit fluffed up and everything, and then you're done, right? So, yeah, that's it. That's how simple it is. Now, that's being simple. And you don't really, you can either try for really noticeable crimping like I did yesterday. I did it like really hard. Today I just kind of wanted a bit of wave, a little bit more body to my hair. So there you go. Simple hair idea for whatever you want. You know, you can like pull it back. You can, you know, put it up, turn it into, you know, a ponytail or something, you know. But it does definitely give your hair a little bit more body if you have, or, you know, if you have fine hair, right? It's really fun. It's just, you know, something I wanted to try because I've seen it done on YouTube, but it doesn't turn out the way it does on YouTube with the curly waves, which, you know, I found out the hard way. But it did give the crimp look. You know, it gave my hair a little bit more thickness to it. And yeah, so get that there. And that's all there is. You know, my hair's so trained to go to one side that it's really hard to make it go to the other side here. See, I'll show you. Trying to make it go on the other side. I look like, you know, so let's try doing it to the other side today. We'll try to get that look going here. I don't know, I can't do it with this side. Like, I've never had my hair down this side before. It's so used to being up, right? So, you know, you can just take it and clip it back, whatever you want to do with it. You know, I usually have mine going straight back and then down the sides. So there you go. Get to use my camera right now to get my hair all in order. Hey, Keontae, how are you? You're back. So we had a bit of an interruption from my brother. He stopped by with his new woman and wanted me to, you know, meet her obviously and see what my outlook is on her. She's younger, definitely younger than my brother, which could be, you know, a benefit to him. He's tired of being single, you know. He's tired of a long distance relationship. He's tired of quite a few things. So she seemed very nice. You know, she was polite, well spoken. You know, she wasn't some weird kind of person that, you know, almost like a leech type of person that he usually attracts, or ones that are there just to take advantage of his kindness, you know, whenever they need something. You know, I think they call those sugar daddies, and my brother's not a sugar daddy by any means. You know, he treats women good, he treats them with respect, and is very gentle with them. You know, his lifestyle has changed quite a bit from when I used to see him back in Alberta before he moved to BC. Then he made the choice while he was out here to, you know, stop the drinking and, you know, doesn't smoke weed anymore hardly, but he does. You know, so I like to make sure that he's, you know, hanging out with the right people, because there are the ones that, you know, will be fake to get what they want kind of thing, right? So I always look out for him. He's only ever brought 2 women in front of me. One I ended up throwing her out of my house within 8 hours. I didn't like her energy or what her intentions with my brother were. So I had a discussion with my brother afterwards. After that happened, I blew up. Like, no, I don't like your energy. Gotta go. His intentions were wrong. You know, and she proved herself to be exactly that. After everything went down. You know, I talked to my brother after, and I said, you know, I don't like her. I don't like what her intentions are. You know, that you can sit there and make me believe that you're something else when you're not, kind of thing, and doing the false creating of self. I read right through it. Intuitively knew better than to allow that energy near my brother. It wouldn't have done him any good. It would have taken him right down into the gutter of life, and I wasn't having that. You know, we don't always pick right partners for us at the time, but, you know, when you're tired of being alone, you would take anything, and I think that's what it was, a state for my brother. But I love him, I look out for him, and he's always welcome in my house, so I thought I'd have to just kind of pause the feed, but, you know, be of a listening ear when he needed me, right? So I've always done that for him, so that's why I paused the feed on the last one. We'll continue with it from here, see what we have in store, and see what the week has in store for all of us. You know, we're going to do each individual one card for each sign for the week, and we're going to just pull one card today. We're going to try something a little different than what we normally do around here. You know, usually we do an overall read, which I did already in the other video. I did, you know, kind of a 5-card quick look at, you know, things, but we're going to look at each individual sign for the week now, and see what's in store for each, you know, air, earth, water, and what is it? Air, fire, water, and earth. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna look at each individual sign. So we're gonna pull on that. So the first one, I gotta resort back to my notes because I can never remember yet. I haven't taught myself enough yet. what signs we're dealing with. So we're going to start with the fire sign, which is Aries, Leo, and Sag. We're going to start with that one for the week energy. See what's in store for our earth signs, our fire signs, sorry. So let's get down to this. Let's get this started. We got a lot of fire, earth, water, and air. Thank you, Daisy. So we're going to deal with the fire energy, which is your Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. We're going to see what's in store for the week. We're going to take a peek at what the energy is going to be like for the sign of fire, which is Aries, Leo, and Sag. Okay. It's like, that the Wizard of Oz where she, they're walking down the little corridor to Ozland, and you know how they say lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. That's what I think I'm going to have to do in order to remind myself of the signs. So we're going to do fire signs. We're doing Aries, Leo, and Sag. Aries, Leo, and Sag. Aries, Leo, and Sag for the next week, please, Spirit. Aries, Leos, and Sagittarius are fire signs. There we go. Okay. You think I said it enough? I don't know. Well, we're going to find out. We're going to take a different way of spreading. I guess we'll do jump cards. We'll keep it simple this time. I'm not going to get too complicated. So fire, Aries, Leos, and Sagittarius. Okay, so we did it right. Okay, I didn't even have to pause on that. Aries, Leos, and Sagittarius for the week. We're going to take a peek at the energy with one card, please, Spirit, if we can get one for the week. For the 14th of December. 14th of January 2019. Can we get one card for our Aries, Leos, and Sagittarius, please? And there we go. We got our one card. Oh, wow. We got the Nine of Pentacles. Somebody's looking good. Somebody's looking good. This looks like a good week to start something new. Okay, or do some reflecting. It's a perfect energy with the new beginnings coming through. We're all taking on new energy. So it's like a refreshing breath of fresh air kind of energy. We've got the Nine of Pentacles, and we have her sitting there. A nice looking lady coming through the gates, and introducing yourself to a whole new experience, right? So I'm feeling okay. I'm doing a little bit better today. I had a bit of stomach problems last night that kept me, that before I went to bed, I kind of got rid of it, but it showed back up again today. Is something wrong with what I ingested or ate. It wasn't really sitting well in my stomach, so I'm not too sure if it was, maybe too much coffee, too much tea, or something was, really doing me in. But it was a bit better today. My stomach's kind of calmed down today. I've been drinking coffee, which is, probably not the best thing to be drinking when you have a sore stomach. But anyways, back to the reading. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling more energized and everything. So here we are. We're all walking in with a new feeling, a new image that we want to portray through 2019. We've worked definitely hard to deserve this positive energy that we're seeing. And this is for the Aries, Leos, and Sagittarius out there. The new look is bomb, 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 like banging. We're all banging with our new looks. Our new energy levels are just amazing for the year 2019. And that's been showing up in everybody's readings, how much newness is really here, that we're almost like overboard with the new beginning feeling, and a lot of us are maybe feeling a little bit confused as to what direction to go in with this new beginning feeling. And that's got a lot of brightness on it. It's reflecting. So we'll try to keep it so we don't have too much reflection. There we go. There's some better coloring. So we're all walking in this new light, this new image, this new beginnings, and, just sucking up the energy. We're just sucking it up, and we're moving to build that energy to be able to, finish things off, whatever relationships or new relationships that are beginning or ending. But I feel that the new relationship we're walking into, if it's a relationship that you're experiencing, or a job, or a new place, like you've moved cities or moved houses, that it's the new energy that we're just loving, and we're just, enveloping ourselves with all this positivity. You have the Nine of Pentacles, which, we're at the end of that cycle working out. And what was it again? I just need to resort back to my so Pentacles each, which is also Earth, Capricorn, is earth energy that we're dealing with here. So, getting regrounded, reconnected with spirit, getting reconnected with our environment on a more positive, beautiful connection, right? We're allowing these new connections to come through, and it's revealing itself within our personal space. And this is what we're protruding to the world, is we've got it all together. We're working hard, and we deserve to have this new experience fall on our feet. Like just gracefully moving. You're not having to stumble any blocks. Like there's no stumbling blocks in front of her. it's just flowing. The beauty is flowing ahead. It's getting everything, beautiful for you for when you make your grand entrance. All right, so maybe it's like a grand entrance for somebody with a relationship. That's what I mean. Like, the emphasis on the new beginning here is a noticeable, huge new beginning. Like, you walked into the room of a ballroom and you got an amazing dress on, and all of a sudden everybody's looking at you. So the new energy is coming through, and it's showing itself when you're around people. People are noticing the new you, the new energy, and the positivity that you're portraying out there is definitely getting recognized. So that's for you guys, for our fire signs, for Aries, Leos, and Sagittarius. Keep moving in the direction that you're moving. You're beautiful, and you're moving, and you're gracefully got this covered. So let's move on and get to number 10 and start some new beginnings with this new energy that we have. It's okay to move forward. Don't fear it. You've got it under control and you're ready to roll. Okay, so don't fear the new entrance. Don't fear the eyes on me kind of thing, because that's the positive energy you're attracting. It's like a moth to a flame. They're going to be attracted to you because of your vibration, because you're happy, because you're killing it, more or less, and moving forward. And it's gracefully done. I don't think any more graceful, and you'd be basically floating like an angel in the clouds kind of thing. That's graceful. So there you go. So that's the positive energy. You're entering into a new state of being, and that's what's going to make your transition up to the 10 and then into the new beginning a lot more easier. You're not allowing anything to come through with you. You're not bringing anything with you. You're just flowing, and you've realized that bringing things with you is what's bombarding you and keeping you held back. So don't let yourself be holding yourself back. Just move forward, and the show is now, like, enter stage right, and let's get the show on the road. Okay, so that's for the fire signs. For our Aries, Leos, and Sagittarius. Okay, so that's what's in store for you. Some new beginnings. Some attention is definitely going to be showering you during the next week. There may be a little bit more noticing of you, acknowledgement of you being around. People are going to notice more of what you're doing, and the positivity that you've been putting behind it. So take that with you for the week. And if it's not revealing itself that way to you, give it a little push. You're more than welcome to give your energy a little bit of push to make things come a little bit faster, right? I know, Sagittarius have arrows, right? Like, how much more could I be in tune with that reading, right? All right, so the next time we're going to look at is our earth signs, I believe, is what I have written. Yeah, sorry, earth signs. So Cap, Taurus, and Virgos. Our Cappies, our Tauruses, and our Virgos is what we're going to look at for the next week. See how the energy is kind of flowing for you. And see what, any advice from Spirit for a one card, please. Spirit, can I have one card, please? There we go. All right, so for our Cappies, Tauruses, and Virgos, we have us waiting on something. You're waiting for something to come in, whether it be a financial gain or a physical person that maybe is coming a distance to meet with you, that you're getting anxious about meeting. This could be a new long distance introduction. But you're interested in what's coming for you, and you're eager to get it started. Like, you want the ship to dock and unload that ship, because there's something at the very end for you, right? So this feels like, all the hard work that you're doing this week with your communication with others that may be in the same city or in a different city or even a different country is what you're waiting on. But don't always just be waiting. Be constructive while you're waiting. Don't just stand there and wait for things to come to you. You have to actually work and speed it up a little bit. So don't be stagnant. Don't be stuck in, just a waiting period, because, it takes longer, and it seems like it's forever drawn out when you're just standing there waiting. It's very boring. It's very unhealthy for you to just stand there and not do anything and expect things to come to you, if you're not working hard for them to speed up to be able to come to you. So I'm thinking that don't be sitting around waiting for things to kind of fall in your lap. Take the movements in regards to making that energy connected with you, that it'll bring, your manifestations to you quickly. And be aware of it. Like, no sitting around. No work means no work. Okay. Nothing's going to happen if you don't work at it. Okay. You can't just be on the other side expecting everything just to, fall in your lap, because there's no work being done. You're not going to receive the gifts that the universe has for you if you're just going to stand there and have an expecting kind of persona about you. It's going to take a lot longer for those things and those gifts to be revealed if you're doing nothing to actually bring them into your life. So stop standing around, get to work, start manifesting your shit. Like, seriously, stop waiting around for somebody to bring it to you or somebody to give it to you for free. That's where the standing around shit, it don't fly on my ship. If it was my personal life, I would actually be making movements towards whatever is gifting the universe is going to gift to me next, and be ready. Standing around, you're not paying attention to what's going on around you. You're not enveloping yourself with what's going on around you. You're just having the expectations. So stop waiting on things, because it's not going to be delivered any faster. Make it active. Be active in what you're doing and when you're manifesting things to come through for you. Okay, stop waiting around. Key message is stop freaking waiting for shit to land in your lap. Start working at it. Like, seriously, being lazy, don't work around here. Universe don't like lazy people. Okay, there you go. So earth signs, your message for the week is stop being lazy, get your hands in there, get dirty, and start manifesting some things. Stop waiting around for it to be handed to you on a silver platter. That's for the earth signs. That's coming from spirit. All right, so that was for the earth signs. Too grounded. Maybe you're getting too grounded in things. Things are becoming stagnant because you're standing around letting your roots grow in the same spot. Like, what the heck? You can't move forward if you're setting down roots and waiting for shit to just, people are just going to walk up and hand you shit. Probably isn't going to happen, because you're not actively connecting with that energy that you need to, have some things brought to you that you've requested, but you're going to stand around and just, hope for the best. Chances are you're going to be hoping for a long time. Hopes and dreams are actions. Get some action. Put some action into the movement. Make it worthwhile to have that when it comes. It's going to be a lot more better when you just get it, random time at, wherever you're headed, right? We got some cards that are flipped here. Hang on. Don't want flipped cards inside the deck. Wow, there is a lot of messages coming through, like, I have never seen so many flipped cards again in my deck. And how, see, you don't pay attention, things get messy. When you're not keeping your eye on the game, take it as a learning lesson from what I'm just doing right now. I wasn't paying attention to what my cards were doing, and so then we got some flip arounds. So there's lots of messages that are in store in the cards today, so we're going to probably be another couple hours before we get through all of them. But I try to get through all the messages for the day until my cards are actually worn out from messaging. Because the messages get out there just as quick. And we got one card still flipped. We've got a lot of strong suited people out there that are getting messages. You might think that things are over, but maybe that last little hump that sometimes is a little bit harder to get over, unless we give you universe gives you a kick in the ass or gives you some kind of a support person or thing that's going to help you, the tool to get you over that last hump for closing energy out. Right? We always seem like the last stretch is the hardest, like the last 100 meters of a race is the hardest, and you push yourself, you get yourself motivated, and you say, I'm getting mine, I'm getting this is worth it to me, I'm going, I'm moving, and I'm making an action turn into a reality. Okay, so get off your high horse, because the horse is worn out. So it's time for you to do the last leg, okay? You can't count on anybody else but yourself to get you across that finish line. You've got people cheering you on, giving you advice, coaxing you along. If you're just going to walk it in, obviously everybody's just going to come like a herd of bulls and just plow you down and knock you right off your feet. Okay, so be aware of that. Keep moving, keep running hard, push yourself for that last mile, even though it feels like the hardest one. Surround yourself with people that are going to, give you some positive enlightenment or positive advice or direction. It's going to help you get across that finish line to be able to start the new journey. And it's hard, like it feels like an uphill battle, but if you're walking up a mountain and you're striving for the top, the last little bit is always going to seem the hardest. It's like, you have a meal, I could give you metaphors for, 10 different metaphors to get the message across. And if I have to, then I will. So it's like having your turkey dinner that you just had at Christmas. You fill your plate up, it's just heaping with food, and you get down to that last bite or last 5-6 bites that you need to finish your plate, and you can't do it. You're burdened, you're bogged down. You're not feeling like you can get through it. You know what I mean? Like, it just slows you right down. Just, and everything that you're bringing. So lighten your load, meditate, release some things so that the last little bit is lighter. It's like you start out running. A person that's an athlete that does running on a regular basis, puts layers of clothes on. So they start with they're kind of bundled up, kind of hard moving when you first get running, but you warm up, and you start shedding all this. You start shedding it. You start, get your core warmed up, and then your whole body starts to warm up. Start moving, and keep yourself moving to keep yourself warm, right? Because once you start running, you're going to sweat, and those clothes are kind of like slowing you down. So you'll take off your jacket, tie it around your waist, and you'll start running some more, and then you'll start feeling hot. So you take off your sweatpants, and you got shorts underneath, and then you're still running. Each time that you start getting overheating yourself with stress and anguish and all that stuff that goes in, you have to release it. You can't sit and just stay bundled up and expect anything to happen. If you're overheating yourself, you're overdoing it for yourself. Lighten the load a little so it's not like an overbearing energy. Like strip it away. Like you're an athlete. Take off the layers, like our Daisy the onion that we used to call her onion. The many layers of an onion, do get peeled away. You don't use every part of that onion. You don't use the skin that it grew in. You're changing, you're transforming until you get down to your core being, which is your energy level, right? That's your core. When you start lighten that core up every day, it starts becoming more stronger, more brighter, and it works. It seriously does. Like, go and do 10 jumping jacks. You're going to be warmer than you were when you started, though, right? Go hard or go home. Go big, go hard, and go home, and then rest. You do need to rest. And let the universe work with you. Don't work against the universe, because the universe is not going to change. The universe is still going to be the universe no matter which way you look at it. It's whether you can manifest in that universe and take it with a challenge and the positivity of it. I got this. Tell yourself 10 times in the morning, I got this day down max. This is on lock. This is what I'm doing today. This is what I'm going to. This is what I'm doing. And just pump up your vibration first thing in the morning. You got this to do. You got that to do. And put some emphasis into it and feel good about it. And it's like, it's just, you go, 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 go. And you don't stop, And then you get home at the end of the day and you're exhausted. You have a good night's sleep. You wake up the next day. You do it all over again. But don't always do it in the same routine. Mix it up a bit. Deal with stuff sometimes in the evening, or when you're on your lunch break and you go for a half an hour walk. Do your meditation then. You can do it at any given time throughout the day, so you're not dealing with it all at once. But wake up with a good intention. Wake up, put those feet on the ground and say, thank God for another day. This is how I'm going to challenge today. Today is not going to be that hard challenge that it was yesterday, because yesterday was a lot more difficult because you had issues that you weren't releasing. The energy wasn't going anywhere. You were sitting stagnant and expecting, your body's not going to warm up if you're not moving. Okay? Simple as that. You're just going to stay cold and you're not anywhere near, keeping yourself warm. If you were out in the wilderness and got lost in the forest and there's snow on the ground, you're not going to stay warm if you just stay in one place. But if you keep moving, keep your body generating energy, right? Don't forget to eat. Have good vegetables, have a snack, eat a banana even, or a piece of fruit, throughout your day whenever you're feeling hungry. You don't have to go for that big meal every time during the day. Take a little piece of fruit with you. Cut up some fruit, make a fruit salad, so, the day before, so you got something different to eat. Have some variety in the life, right? So there we go. So now we're going to do our air signs. And of course, we're going to do water signs last, because I am a water sign. I don't want to have any influence on that one either. So our air signs. So Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius is what we're going to do next. We're going to see what's in store for you guys. One card, please, for our... Oh, geez, they're jumping everywhere. See, messages are coming, but we're not taking those because those aren't the messages that are needing to be delivered, I'm sure. Too early. Yeah, that was a jump the gun kind of cards that were coming out. It was a jump the gun card. And then we got cards flipping around in the deck again. Like, see, this is what I mean. There's messages. So we're going until these cards are worn out for the day, or at least I get worn out. Because there was like 15 cards that have which is an individual message for each person. Right, so we're just going to, we're not taking just drop cards, okay? So these cards, make it worthwhile. Make those jump cards jump. Get the messages that are urgent for our air signs right now, please. So for Gemini, Libra, and Aquariuses, we want, jump cards. We don't want a bunch at once. We just want one. So until you can give me just one, not a million, please, Spirit. We don't need all the messages at once. We're not asking for it. We just want one simple card to give us our overall look for what's coming this week And that's for our air signs, for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, please, for December. Or December. I'm still running last year. Like, just X energy. That's residual energy right there telling me I got to work on some stuff from last year still. It's followed me through to the new year. So from the 14th. Okay, so the 14th, we got two. We're going to take two. You guys get a bonus. You get the bonus part of the read today. You get the two cards. So we have two kings here, or one knight, one king. One knight, one king. So there's one or the other. So the message is pick one. Okay, you have so many options in front of you. You need to pick what route you really want to go down and be focused on that energy towards that one thing that you pick. It's either or. You want to be a king, you want to be a knight. It's, cut and draw, cut and simple. You need to choose. Either you're going down the theory of a king, confidence. You want to go out and have battles and fix the dramas and continue down the path of drama, then be the knight, because he's on his horse. He's ready to roll. Okay, he wants to go out and create. He wants to be a creator of good things. So go out and start creating. Maybe creating new relationships. You're not the type that's willing to sit around in your castle and be a homebody. You're an action player. So that's probably what avenue you want to go. You want to have the action, then go have the action, because you're deserving of it. You're strong enough. You'll be able to balance it. And you're ready for the challenges, with this new energy. You're ready to ride. Your horse is all rested up, and, today's a good day to, take on a challenge. So take on the challenges of the week. If you're the one that wants to go and have the action card going on in this week, then pick the action part. Go and live it and do it and experience it. If you're more of the homebody type, that you can manage doing your work, comfortably in your home or at work, or anywhere you choose should be a sacred place for you. Anywhere that you enter, whether it be, you go to a park to meditate, or you go to a church to have sermons given to you, or you go to, the local community center and get active in go swimming and doing laps, um, is definitely not the way for you this week. I think this week is just to kind of take it easy, absorb what you've learned through the week and just take it in and manifest on it. Like, think about it. Think about, your options. Don't make a steadfast choice. If you're not into the action, don't take the action. Take the, relax me. I need relax. I need to just focus and center on me for a little while. And I don't need to be active to do that. You can meditate. That's, being solidary in your own. You're not really opening up to people. You're keeping yourself kind of closed off from people so you can work through your stuff and take that, be accountable for what you want to manifest, and think about it, rest on it. You don't have to make a dire straight action right now, like 1, 2, 3 action, like a movie star. You just start acting. Think about the role. Think about the experience that will bring to you. If that's an experience you want, just manifest and think about what you're wanting to create. You're still in the creator's kind of block thing, kind of is what I'm feeling. You're not sure if you should or if you shouldn't, but I think you should at least give it a shot and just try. Even a small taste of the action city, and then you would know for yourself. Don't make choices that are going to make you more like depressed or kind of bored, ha. Build ones that, start creating things that are going to bring some action to your life. So if you're feeling that you're not being very active, then you'll realize, that you need to maybe just sit back and experience it for what it is, right? And this guy's going to annoy me. Okay, where's my spirit box? So so do as you do. Okay, that keeps you kind of balanced in your own energy. But I do feel that you couldn't be entering into like a fire sign energy. That meaning that you're starting to get the fires lit up again for the new year. You're trying to warm things up, right? So, you're definitely, the home fires are burning, and if that's what works for you to get you going down the path of your creating your existence and creating your week, then do that. Take some, take a fire from the core, light that core up, and let's get moving. Okay, don't sit in your, you know, sit idle for too long, because the fire does end up going out after a while, and then it takes a bit more to get it going again. You know what I mean? So keep the embers burning and keep moving forward and keep the positivity of creating and finding what really, that maybe you're missing energy is from something that you're forgetting to notice. So don't let the fire burn out. Okay, don't let things come to you and make you feel more burdened than you are. You're comfortable with yourself. You're able to take on the challenges as being in a king power. The energy is very strong there for you to be able to fight and manifest and create. So just start creating. Start that fire going. Stoke the fire. Let's get moving. Okay, because you do want to be over in the action part where everything's happening, but just not feeling that you are part of that yet. So light the fires. Let's get the home fires burning in your core, in your spirit, in every piece of bodily part that you have, and get moving. Let's join the crew and let's make things happen. Let's all get creative and start creating our energy. You may be the hyperactive person. This may be the controlled kind of energy person that works for you. Then if that's working, then keep moving forward with it. It's a positive move, and you can move forward regardless of any state of being that you're coming from. You have to put it into action though. Be around people that are active. Be around people that have good discussions about energy. Like just engulf yourself with it, and you'll see how well it feels, and you'll start living it. You will start creating on that note. So that's for the air signs. Be creative, be grounded. If you're too used to being kind of try, like the spirit box just said, and they're in the background, by the way, I forgot to turn it off, but it's saying just try something new. Something that you normally wouldn't, nothing super crazy, but try a different avenue, try a different approach to things that, maybe are not working with the new energy in 2019. Okay. All right. So now we're going to do the water signs, our favorite one of all day. That's what I am. I'm a Cancer. I'm a true Cancer. Mine's born right in the middle of Cancer. That's why my intuitive skills are, so spot on. It's because I'm able to channel that. I love being a Cancer. I don't mind it. I actually like it. I actually do. I like being an emotional, but not a drama emotional. I like to be, emotional to things that matter to me. It gets me just pumped to be, that feeling of, it just engulfs me. And being an animal an animal, I can be an animal, mind you. I could take on the spirit animal of what's out there. This is the one thing. Okay, so there's the highway. Yeah, it's my way or the highway. Maybe for some people it would be. Okay, so I'm not going to say it wouldn't be, but I'm not saying it would always be that way. But for some people, it does mean my way or the highway, because whatever's working and you're conflicting with my energy and causing me headaches and causing me drama, causing me, disruption, I will actually say, take your energy somewhere else. Stop, trying to absorb mine, or put your thought train on me, because, I don't need any assistance in thought. I can do that well on my own. I am old enough to understand. I'm not a child. But you also have to be a contributing person. You have to contribute to the purpose, the cause. Otherwise, you don't do your purpose, and it's more of eluding the cause. It gets caught up real fast. I like to be working together, working on the same note. Regardless if I can get, moving, and I have my medication to actually kick my ass for 12 hours. I go to sleep and I sleep for like 12, 13 hours. I have to go and see a doctor about that, because I'm not sleeping and getting up early enough anymore. I can go to bed at like 1 o'clock before, and I'd be up at 5:30, 6 o'clock. Now I go to bed at 1:30 in the morning, and it's like I sleep until like noon, or, even later than that, sometimes 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock. It's not me, it's the medication they put me on. The pharmaceutical companies are keeping me in control right now. Right, so I don't advance too fast, or whatever the purpose is. People say that I can't even have fun. I don't get to have fun. That's what it should be. It should be fun. Right? So even my spirit box is giving me advice sometimes when I need to hear it. And it's sometimes the hard truth is hard to hear, but it's only in the best interest that you receive it. Like I do here. If it's your best interest, you need to hear it as it's being told, and it rubs you the wrong way, then maybe that's something that you need to focus your energy to understand. Why would that energy be telling me how to do this? Because you've maybe not been successful at all your other tries. So now Spirit will step in and give you the answers that you're requesting, give you the direction that you're needing. But if you don't take action on it, like for our, I believe it was our earth signs that we did, if you're not taking your action and moving forward to make it a more, peaceful existence for yourself, let alone when you're around others, then there's some really personal stuff that you need to work through. Simple as that. I still have my bad days. I, try to confront an issue, but when I get to deal with all the positive energy, and I'm surrounded by people with positive energy that are, going to help me along my path and offer that advice, even when I don't want to hear it. I may be in the worst mood of the day and just crabby all day. I don't want to hear it. But at the same point, it's only in best interest that you discuss things, right? You never want to discuss to keep a person down, but you want to enlighten them to the situation for them to make moves that are more positive in the future. And that's, you want to raise the vibration, just like the spirit box said again. I'm going to turn it up so you guys can hear it. Okay, we've got the spirit box today. I forgot to tell you guys that. Sorry, I forgot to tell you. Okay, so we'll turn it up a bit. Let's see what they have to say. But raise the vibration for yourself. Don't stick in that, woes of me, and try to make a change. Like if you're realizing on one day that, you had a bad day around this aspect of things, or a comment that somebody made, or an experience that you experienced, and it's still carrying on into the next day, maybe it's time to just take a quick gander, sit down for 5 minutes, ponder it in your mind and say, okay, well, let's try doing this a bit different. Put yourself as you have to push yourself hard. And push yourself to that extreme. I'm not saying like be an extreme diver just to, raise your vibration or anything, but work on the small things. The warrior. See, like I'm a warrior. I've been through a lot. I try to do it with best intentions that I can. And sometimes you can't deliver things in the best intention because there's many, there are many ways to have to portray it, but you've tried all 7 other ways of portraying the information, but on the sixth time that you have to repeat it, it gets kind of gets monotonous after a while. There's no action being taken, so why should I give any of the information to you if you're not going to take action on it? Be a warrior with yourself. Be your personal warrior against yourself can actually raise the vibration too. Challenge yourself. Look at it a different way. Even if it's going to cause you, go to the gym and your first workout, you decide to stay there for an hour. Well, guaranteed you're going to hurt the next day. You're definitely going to hurt the next day if you've never done it before. And sometimes you get that strength and you get that pain, and it's like no pain, no gain. You're not going to gain anything if you just go work at it for like 10 minutes and then leave the gym. It's going to take you a lot longer to get to where you're going if you're just taking small increments. Take a leap of faith and just jump in and deal with it, right? Give it a shot. No matter how far that it pushes you to the extreme. It will push you to the extreme. And I'm having cars flipping around in the deck. What the heck's going on here? What is going on with the cars today, people? Why is there cards flipping? Okay, somebody's message. I'm just going to pull out the cards that are flipped here and find out what the heck the message is that's coming out. Okay, so we've got what cards here? We've got the Queen of Cups. All right, so this is for Cancers. We're doing water signs here. Okay, so here's the water sign. So the first card out for is the Queen of Cups. Okay, so we get 3 cards. So this is an overall energy. We have the Hierophant and Temperance coming out, exactly like we were just discussing. Are we going to take the blessings and knowledge or the gifts that we're being given and make use of them, or are we just going to, leave it up to the universe to, guide us and just be lazy all around? Because Temperance doesn't like that. Temperance doesn't like the no action. She likes to be action and active and working hard and moving in a more peaceful, graceful state, and, likes to be flowing, the angelic kind of go with the flow and work hard. You take the blessings that are given to you and actually put them into action into your life. If Temperance has to come and give you a kick in the ass, then let her. Let her be the one to kick your ass, because it's only you against you. You're the only one in the way of movement. And if you're blocking it, then it's your own fault that you're sitting there still in the same spot you were 6 months ago. If you're feeling like you're still stuck in that same spot, ask for advice, ask for direction, ask people how to, kind of function with whatever you're dealing with. If it's a mental disease, an addiction, spiritual questions, or your spiritual conquest is kind of went stagnant, ask for the universe and ask people that are kind of involved in that situation what you should do, and take whatever you can learn or understand in regards to making it a more, flowable energy, instead of feeling like you're hitting a brick wall every time you turn in the corner. Because obviously the walls are closing in and limiting you. Do you want those walls to completely close in and just limit you so bad that you can't even think straight? Like they have places for that. And it's not, and that's exactly what it sounds like, is people screaming, right? That happens every once in a while too. So think about how you used to get through it before. How did you manage to keep the plane flowing peacefully and still being able to function in your life? There had to have been an experience in your life that knew that you were able to go through and meet that challenge. You have to meet it. You can't just hide from it. You can't just deny that it's there, but you have to work within it. And it can be turned to be like a life bomb to you. So here we are. The Queen of Cups is, she's enjoying, she's relaxing, she knows what she's doing, and she's enjoying the scenery. Like when you're working with female energy, we're usually pretty bright people. We're taken for granted, and we end up sitting back waiting for the actual thing to come out and drop, and we're sitting there watching exactly what's happening, and we've given you advice, but you don't want to listen. We're very intuitive. We give the message, but the message isn't being heard. It's being thrown back to whoever is supposed to be receiving it, right? It's only good intentions. And I get to sit back. I get to enjoy my cup of tea every day. And I think about how my day is going to unfold, or I'm drinking a coffee thinking how my day is going to unfold. And it requires interacting with other people. I don't get time during the day because half the time I'm sleeping, or I'm, busy doing YouTube channels or getting things organized for my channel, for my subs, for people that are involved in my life that are counting on me to be here every day. And I make that vow every day. Sometimes I'm a little late, but I am late to the party, but I always show up. You know what I mean? Even if I'm late for a couple hours later than what I said the night before, I still do it. I still get up and I still do it, no matter how well I'm feeling or not. Right? So that's, I'm peaceful in my life. I'm very, and seeing that shell behind the energy, the water sign, being content, with what you're doing, with the moves you're making. Take 5 minutes in the morning to figure that out. Take the time to sit back while you're having that cup of coffee, multitask. Multitasking is the best thing that ever was invented for spiritual people. You can multitask and not feel like you can only challenge one task. Put them together and say, oh, I can deal with those two. Kill one bird with two stones, or kill two birds with one stone. Which one do you want to take? The easier one, right? So you're going to take your stone, you're going to throw it at two birds. You end up killing, it's a metaphorical thing. Don't literally go out and do that, though. I'm not saying go out and throw rocks at birds and see how many you can take out with one rock or two. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying spiritually, take out two of the things that you did on that list of the whole day. At least get two of them done. Then get two done. Work on the rest for the next day, and plan your week out that way. Maybe put the list down of what things you need to do and cross them off, and then move whatever you didn't get done that day. Move them on to the next day. You know what I mean? It's for whatever. It's for however this message resonates. If there's another, like say, the earth sign was more resonating with you, maybe that's the energy that you're flowing in for that week, that you're flowing in the earth energy, reconnection, grounding yourself, that maybe that's an avenue that is something that you need to do to feel better for the week or to get moving on the week. So whatever resonates with you on any of these signs that we've done this week, if it resonates with you, try taking a different approach. Maybe it's a different energy that's coming through for you to actually work with, that maybe the universe is providing to you, so you have a little bit smoother coast. Maybe the universe is going, hey, okay, that's a little bit too hard for the situation. We won't be so hard on you. We'll give you a chance to kind of work into it slowly. You know what I mean? Not just give you the boot camp and then give you the boot. You know what I mean? Give you a chance to slowly move into that energy. As it's not like the December 31st and then January 1st, everything's got to change. Move into the energy at your own pace, but be moving into an energy that's going to benefit you, not hinder you. Okay? So that's the energy read for a peek at this week on how to maybe take on this week better. And then the overall, for each sign, we're going to pull from the Goddess card and see what direction is the most genuine way of seeing things. Okay, so for our earth signs, so a leap of faith. So this has all been about a leap of faith that we need to take, and take a chance. If you don't take chances, you're not risking anything, right? It doesn't feel like a challenge, where we'd like to be, you're given a challenge and you want to beat it. If you're a go-getter, you're going to want to beat that challenge. You're going to want to be on top of that 24/7 and 7 days a week. So whatever leap of faith, give it, take it. The worst thing that's going to happen to you when you take a leap of faith is that your ego gets burned, right? You get, kind of a bruised ego if you don't take that leap of faith. But if you don't take it, you're just, you're staying stagnant. You're not willing to take the chances to get you anywhere. You might as well just stay stuck in the mud, Stay there. Nobody's going to help you out if you don't help yourself out, or jump into that quicksand pit and get it over quick and fast. Okay. Deal with the energy quick and fast. You don't want to be stuck in, and slowly losing your footing because you're going to end up getting depressed and you're going to get too involved in the actual emotion part of it, not the motion part, but the emotion. We don't want to get stuck in the emotion part. We want to get stuck in the motion. Okay, get moving in the motion of everything that leads up to that. And if you have to dig backwards to get out of your hole, so you need to fill up the hole just to get out of the hole, then do that. Take the steps to build yourself at least a plane to get out of. Don't keep digging yourself more and more into a hole and, putting things, on the outside of the hole, because you can't get out of that deep hole once you're in it. You're going to have to take whatever, is around you now and dig out. So you're going to have to start digging at the walls and find your way out of that hole, and call for help and to call on your angels, your guides and spirits to actually help you and provide, the energy or the nurturing part of it to be able to get yourself out of that hole. Because it's not a very deep hole that it takes for us to get stagnant in our lives. It could be like a foot deep, and that could be like, the hardest hole sometimes to get out of. And it's only down a foot. So ask for guidance, for people to address the situation with, right? And use what you're given, as tools on a daily basis. Always are changing. Everything is forever changing. The energy I could be doing tonight could absolutely be changed in the morning because everybody's working in the right mode, right? So the energy levels are up and down, up and down, up and down, or they're smooth and they're flowing. If you want the chaotic part of up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. What do I do? What do I do when I get stressed? That's what you're going to ask me. Is what I do is I like to meditate, just be by myself, work through it. But at least by the time I've worked through it, I've come up with an answer to it, right? That's all it is. Just work through it and come up to an answer that is comfortable for you. And if taking that extreme leap of faith to get shit going, who are you to say no to yourself? So long as it's not causing harm to you or anybody else, then go for it, But, keep us posted, so at least we know what kind of avenue you're challenging if you want to be with just information, or you want coaching or whatever you need to take this leap of faith. Go out and seek it from people that have that experience or have experienced it, and wonder. Everybody's experience is individual. What happens, what advice I give one person is not going to be the same that I give somebody else. If it's worked for other people and they found that it's working, then offer that. Say it worked for me. But if it didn't, then maybe it's not such good advice to give. And that's what I was taught by a very close person that's involved in my life. Is if you don't take the leap on the 4 things that somebody said, and you decide, no, I'm not going to do anything, yield to the fact of anything, you're yielding to all the answers that are being provided for you, you're not going to go anywhere. Take it and run with it. Somebody's counting on you for the touchdown goal. You're going to make that touchdown goal because you were requested, and then you feel a part of a community, and everything kind of flows better that way when you're part, not rubbing against the grain and kind of slowing the whole crew down. Move forward, jump off that crew for a bit if that's going too fast for you, and take your own speed, but be moving. Always be moving. We can't just have emotion, so exit the motion. That's what emotion sounds to me, is exit the motion. If you want to get motion, then you get motion, right? Take the E, drop it, whatever the burden is with that E, drop the E, whatever that represents, whether it be a person, a place, or thing that's going on in you that's causing you to be emotional and non-motion. Then get whatever that E is representing to you and drop the goddamn thing and lighten the load, because you can't be, carrying around a tire and tied to the tire and it's not helping you in any form. Lighten the tire size, maybe try first to lighten the load a bit, work with it. And if it's, gradually, add some more to your life, some more meaning to your life, but don't take it all. And often do that. Often. And often, you can take more on. Start with a bit of a lighter load. Don't put yourself smack dab with a heavy tire tied to your ass, because once you get there with all your experiences and working through emotions that you're carrying already, is going to weigh you down very quickly. Take care of number 1. And then once you're taking care of number 1, you've got your life moving. It may not have, leaps and bounds and all this, woohoo, you got, you're moving up the scale faster than you want to because you might end up hitting a brick wall if you forget to land. If you skip one of those rungs that you're climbing up that ladder, you're going to fall right back down. So always take your time when you're climbing something. Take your time through it. Don't rush it. It doesn't have to be rushed. And yeah, there you go. That's for the overall week. There's the push forward pep talk, I guess. Because I try every day. I do. I'm not making blame on the medication, but I don't want to. I don't want to take the medication if it's impeding my performance. It's like athletes only take certain vitamins to, excel in the performance. I'm taking things right now that are impeding me and that are causing me to not even have a life, but for 6 hours, and then I'm asleep again. Like it's not a life. It's like a sentence. To have to be on these conditions and not being able to be me without the pharmaceutical causing me to sleep all the time. It doesn't work, but you know wow, I have to wait for the next appointment whenever is suited. I have to go through panel and decision boards and people making up decisions for me in regards to why I'm on medication, why, but they're too close-minded to even understand the spirituality that a shaman goes through or the experiencing of a whole spiritual awakening, and they don't want to even open up their minds to the thought because they're going by textbook, and that's all that matters. What was written and taught to them in a textbook is all they need to know, which is wrong. You have to evolve with the situation and the spirit of the person. You can't just decide because you don't agree with it that you're going to make somebody else's life miserable and make them not be able to grow because you're too stuck in your damn ways. You know what I mean? You're hindering the situation more than you're prospering from it, right? And that's the way I look at life. If I didn't have to take these medications and I could be on one medication that wasn't going to cause weight gain, that wasn't going to cause me sleeping all the day, it isn't causing me to be able to not channel as much as I would like to, but people wanting to have their two bits that aren't even involved in my life on a regular basis to have a decision to be able to be made in their best interest, then I have no use for you either, because you're not allowing me to grow as a human being or a spiritual being, because you don't even know that you are a spiritual being, or you're too close-minded to even experience it. That's my rant for the day. So let's get moving, people. Let's get things moving in a positive direction and stay moving positive. Anybody that wants to hinder you, drop them to the side. I'm sorry, that's the way it goes. Don't slow me down while you're slowing down. Joined. Don't stay joined in a group of people that are not working for you, that want to hinder your life and keep you at their level of thought. It doesn't work that way. You're an enlightened being. You're an enlightened being for a reason. You've done the work. You've done the challenge. You've come through on the other side and worked through all the fucking shit. Try taking my life on for a day and, a tool. Yeah, go be a tool instead. Go be a fucking raker, whatever. Go be useful to somebody else, because you're not useful to me. You're impeding my performance and impeding my spiritual growth. And I love being happy. I love being overwhelmed. I love having energy. I love, being the class clown, or being positive all the time. And it's like the more negative people you hang around, the more positive and energy that takes just to get through an experience with a negative person. It drains me. It drains me right out. Because they're sucking your energy just to get through a day. Is it worth it? No, because now you're taking two birds with one stone, and now it takes me, a breakage of eliminating you from my life completely because I don't want the negative energy around me. And that's what it comes down to. I don't want to be a shallow person that way. I want to be able to offer my help. But if offering my help's not good enough, to make a change, or at least stick with it, right? It's draining. I won't do it. I will not do it. I will walk away and I will be done. I won't take on the energy, and it hurts me inside to have to walk away. But I will.
Oh. 15 months there. And then we scored upon
Toward.
And
persecuted.
Sorry. I just get too emotional and get, it hurts by the time I'm done.
It hurts. It really does. To come out the other side and lose a part of you that you didn't bring through, and you lose that person. You become something else. You know, like I should actually do a book of writing, start writing my story out. This time you're writing. I used to write journals like they were coming out of my yin yang. But it wasn't going anywhere. It was just being put on paper. And that's how I was used to be before. I used to be very closed. Wouldn't let people into my life. I wouldn't let them experience me as a person. I was very closed in. I didn't want to go through any emotions. I wanted to shut emotions off. And it's hard to do when you're a Cancer. It really is hard to do when you're a water sign because you're an emotional person. You like the motion. I like the motion of being positive. And if you're going to be negative around me and expect me to cater to your negative, you're losing. You're gonna definitely lose that battle because it won't happen. And it's hard. It is. You know, you have a friend that's not doing so well, and you give them advice, you give them an understanding, a different look on things, and they just shut you down. What is the point? You know, ice. You know, where's the hope? Where's the dreams? They all get taken. You know, trying to move myself on a more productive path than I've ever been on, and it's working for me. You know, if I have to sacrifice my life to continue to be happy with doing what I'm doing, that's an avenue that I'm going to take. I'd rather be happy and moving forward to help other people, you know, and then you've got other people that are being, you know, helpful, and the cause is for the greater good. You know, but if you're stuck on being stuck in the mud, I'm not going to keep waiting for you to get, you know, hand me your hand to pull you out. You can stay there if you want to wallow in your own, you know, mud pile and you don't want to move because you're stuck, or, you know, take the advice or a hand that's being offered to pull you out of that mud pot. You know, it takes a little bit to, you know, shake off the mud, but don't stay stuck in it for the rest of your life just because you can. You know, because I'm not the person that's going to be sitting there waiting for you to get yourself unstuck on your own. So that's that. I won't be the one that'll drag you out. If you allow me to, I will drag your ass right out of there and drag you into another one before you even see the next day of daylight. You know, you'll be working through mud puddles, you know, right, left, and center that you happen to put yourself in on your own accord. If I have to go back and pull you all out as a team member, then I'll go and pull every single one of you out, as long as you're working towards getting out of the mud. But if you're pulling me into that mud pile with you, it's not going to happen. I'll let go and let you go. If that's what you want to drag somebody into, you know, a negative situation, I'll just release. I won't even keep, you know, I'll lose some energy, but, you know, at least I'm not taking all my energy and spending it for a day on one person. I'm doing it for many people, and that's what I do. That's my life. That's always what I've done all my life, is look at somebody else that has, you know, lesser, or, you know, needs a little bit of a booster, and that, you know, people that you love, that you care, the new hope, put it on them, you know. Extend your hand to them. Say, I'm here to, you know, if it's just to listen, just to vent, or whatever, right? Always offer your assistance to somebody that, you know, you could sit at a bus stop and have a conversation with somebody that's having a bad day, and just to hear them for that 10 minutes while you're waiting for the bus anyway. You know what I mean? Like, or you're standing in line at a grocery store and somebody's complaining because the teller's too slow. Well, you know, at least she's getting her job done thoroughly. You know, she takes her time. She works at a speed that's comfortable for her. If it's not good enough for you, then choose a different line. You know, that's how easy it is. You can jump out of that line and go to the one that's faster, for all I care. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter to me. It's not going to affect my life. But it'll, you know, if it's affecting your life that bad, then maybe you should take a different route. You know? but hope for a better turnout, that 4 people don't get into that line before you do, and it's the next tiller over, and 4 people run into that line, and then you're 5 people back now, so you're even farther back than what you started with. You were next and you were complaining, and now you're 5 people more back. You know what I mean? Like, that's how quickly things can change for you. And that's how quickly you can turn a negative into a positive. And I'm not saying it's easy, I'm not saying that it's hard, but I'm saying that when you're realizing it and you're sitting there and you realized it, now that you're sitting negative, that's when you start working to change it into a positive. The minute you notice, that's when you need to change. That's when you flip that switch and say, hey, I need to go vent, or I need to write this out. And writing does do a lot of good. It does. I've done my aura changes. They're even talking spiritual. Like, how do you get a box to talk spirituality? This one does. Auras and everything else talks about Jesus, talks about God, calls my name directly if I'm not listening and I'm tuning them out. They literally will go and say, Karen. And it's like, what? I just think of them as like, just little people sitting on my couch that I can't see, but I can hear and feel and vibrate with. I'm not shy of it. I'm not, people would consider it haunting. It could be haunting to some people. To me, it's an everyday fucking being. They're just as good as me in the flesh, as, my cat in the flesh, or they're in the flesh. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter if you're of skin or you're not of skin. It doesn't bother me any. I get through it. Like these fear movies, I'd probably sit back and go, okay, well, maybe you should come and meet some of the ones that I've met. Or, Clarice. I thought it was Clarice, and here we're talking about shows that, are haunting. Clarice, the one that was in that one, Silence of the Lambs. You know what I mean? And then we get all this spiritual stuff showing up, right? You can't program a spirit box to do that. There's no possible way. You can't make it, say certain words or do certain things. Haunting my house. Hell, come and haunt my house. It's a fucking heyday around here with hauntings every day. I don't mind it. I'm inviting it. Come on in. Don't cause any harm while you're here, but you can stay and visit all you want. But don't be putting any impediment on anybody visiting my house. I expect to have respect and given respect, right? I'll let them all come in. All the demons and all the devils and all the evil and everything can come and visit, but they can't harm while they're in my 4 walls. Do what you want on the outside of my 4 walls, all you want. That's right. I own my space. I own it. People don't like it when they come here, but the girl even said she felt like such a lighter energy going on around my house today. Even my brother said it's a lot more positive. Whenever I come down here, it's positive, it's happy, it's vibrant. And that's what I like to stay at. I like to be the vibrant, happy, let's enjoy our day, let's brainstorm together, or, kind of, beside. Oh, there's one beside me somewhere. Okay, well, let's find out where he is. They reveal themselves to us, and I just think of them as, whatever. They're just, got a cloak on her. They've got that cloaking device where they can hide, and they just kind of blend into the fabric of life, right? I've never denied them. I've never denied that they've been there. But when I started seeing them show up in my pictures from my brother showing me that, then I knew. That's when I knew that I had a past life of black magic, a dark life that I left, that followed me into this lifetime. The demons that I brought with me behind me. The piglet today, Piggy's gone. Apparently Piggy's gone. He's not showing up. So maybe, he got, sent back into a spiritual person. Who knows? I don't know where they end up after this or where they go. They never come back to tell us because they can't cross back into this energy, because once you're gone and your energy's moved all the way through and you've dealt with your karmic relationships or whatever, once you finish, you don't have to do it again. You have the option to whether you want to come back as a person, place, or thing. You have that option. You don't even have to come back if you don't want to. You can be kicked right into your next experience, and that's it, right? That's how I've been kind of reviewing it, and it happens. It's even the box says happens. This is what happens when you leave, is that you get to gain. Don't keep your spirit here. That's what your learning lesson is before you leave. Be a whole person. Be the one that, is complete, so you're not leaving that energy behind and keeping you stagnant in that medium, right? That middle ground. Be honorable with what you do. work out your karmic past and figure it out and work at it. Though when you're not actively working at your karmic past, you're not achieving anything. You're going to end up coming back to repeat the lessons that you didn't learn in the first place, is what they say. I don't have any karmic energy left here. I know that for a fact, because there isn't a person in my life that how would I say, politely, I'm going to say this, sugar coated, because I'm not going to be rude about it. But I've dealt with a lot of different people in my life, and a lot of those people have deserted me, left me to my own accord, because I've worked through it. And it's hard to let go when you've had to let go. But you have to let go, because you can't bring anything with you when you go. You got your soul, and that's it. You ain't bringing no luggage. So you have to work through all your affirmations, all your, what do they call, all your connections with people that didn't follow suit. You have to release that energy. You have to release a lot of the spiritual being needs you to release from the physical body, from the physical entanglement of being involved with people in your life. You have to work through those. I can't even just think the word that, when, you want, oh, Sam's here. Hey, Sam. We have Sam visiting us, people. Welcome, Sam. How are you? So we're going to talk with the spirits a little bit here. Let's see what everybody's got to say. So Sam's here. Okay. Here we go. Turn it up. Turn it back up now. So that's, we've done the reading for today for each sign for the week of what's going to be in store for the week. So that was pretty good. We got the spirit box tonight. We're going to do spirit box because we haven't done it in a long time. And I know I keep getting, urges to turn him on, but it on, not him, specifically him. So there's 8 of them here. There's 8, or it's 8 o'clock. Oh, it is just after 8 o'clock. So they're just reading the time. They're basically confirming what's going on around me while I'm sitting here. Somebody looked at the clock and it's 8 o'clock. It's 10 after 8. Or, my door's wide open. Sally. Okay, so now we have a Sally. The only thing that makes Sally kind of resonate with me is a girl that came to my house one time with somebody that we let stay here for a short period, and she says, "Oh, I see dead people too. I can hear them and feel them." Never seen her here again. You close my door. But that's what I mean. Like I work and I think and I feel. I do a lot of different things throughout my day that, a lot of people probably couldn't deal with, Can you see if you can find any of my ancestors? If we have any, I don't have a link to you right now, just through chat. I can ask if there's anybody that knows of Clarence. Do you have any of his ancestors that you can find for Clarence to come through on the box today, please? Apparently somebody was hurt. Did you experience any of your ancestors that went through pain when they passed? That was due to somebody else? And this is for Clarence or Claire. And maybe at the age of 50?
No time to ask anyone.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. I asked for the information to be given to me right away. It's given to me right away. So if that resonates with you, is there a question you would like to ask the box that I can speak for you on behalf of you to the box?
I guess he stooped and left.
Predestinated.
Yeah, we are predestinated. And we're vulnerable when we get to that stage.
A lot of people feel vulnerable when they have to feel or they have to let go of something. They get very vulnerable for some reason. I don't know how that works, but So somebody is upset that could be an answer that you've been doing something stupidly for all your life. So that could be somebody else that's in the chat as well. The whole life has just been,
I found my.
it's just been a weight on everybody's shoulders. Expecting. So if it's, I don't sugarcoat nothing, and the spirits don't sugarcoat it for me, so I don't sugarcoat it for you. What is said is what's said, and that's how it comes across. Yeah, take a seat, because you could be here for a while if you really want to get in depth with things that are going on. So you might as well take a seat and listen to it, because it's going to be a discussion that you might need or you might not need or you don't want to even listen to. That's the way I look at it. Take a seat, have a seat. Everybody take a seat. You're welcome here. Everybody move, switch seats, whatever it takes, but somebody needs to sit down. So take a seat, whatever energy it is.
And beautiful Friday.
Oh, I know it's beautiful here. Thank you very much. Let's hear it. Could the ancestor give me some wisdom? Something about July. That's me. I'm from July. I was born in July. Give you some wisdom? What wisdom are you requesting of them? Because what wisdom do you need?
For this all. And someone to.
The air was cloud.
Lafayette, I'm the only one who can compliment Emmy here, Sam. Oh, Daisy, don't get jealous now. Share the wealth. Share the love. We're all just love here. Don't get upset. He's not being mean. Sam's not being mean. He's just, he's just being Sam, I guess. No, it's all in fun and games. It is. It's fun. It's exciting. You get to just kind of unwind here, regardless of what your purpose here is. No, I appreciate you guys. Oh, as below, so is above. Right. I forgot. As above, so below. Below, as below, is that end of death. As above, so below. Wherever you go to after this is going to be pretty much similar to what you've experienced now, but on a higher note. If you've worked through everything. Okay, so you were guided here. You clicked on the link, and it brought you to me. Okay, so you want some spiritual wisdom. You want to know what is going on for your spiritual journey. I can probably help you with some direction. I can't tell you how to do it. I can't tell you when to do it, and I can't tell you to do it. I can give you the options. I can do a card reading for you for a first time, see where you're headed, and we can, at least I go, that whatever comes through the cards, that it would resonate with you as far as maybe giving you some insight into yourself and what's going on. I am very accurate with my readings. I pull the energy from you to be able to find where you need to go. I ask the guides, I ask energies, is what I call them, my energies, to help assist in that, because they can remote view you. They can see what you're doing, that they can translate back to me in regards to where your spiritual, your spiritual path is. Not to be rude, but they can, they'll lift you up. Definitely, they'll lift you up and, turn every stone that you have in your life, right?
But others were.
Okay, spirits and energies, we're going to do a reading for Clarence, please. We want to have truth and only truth to assist him in his spiritual journey. He's kind of taken a side step to his journey. He's kind of feeling lost. He wants to have some new direction. So if the guides can come through the cards today for Clarence to offer him a peace of mind or some direction or some options that would be best suited for his need. May the messages be information that he can use, whether it be good or bad, negative or positive, that he will find some hope in a new direction or options. Okay, so we're going to pull some cards here for you, Clarence.
And I'll allow 3 cards for your reading today, because it is something that, a spiritual journey is what we're all here to do, and to have the best, the most information. And we got flip cards again in the deck. Okay, so there's lots of messages, you guys. Okay, everybody's got to slow down on manifestation right now, because it's interfering with my cards. Right. It messes with the cards when I'm trying to do a person read, so if everybody could just kind of slow down on their thoughts. We're all going to get messages today. So after this one, I'm going to read out some messages today. I'm not going to... death. Okay, so have you had a spiritual death yet? Or anything close to a spiritual death yet, is what they want to know. You could be going through a spiritual death right now, so the transformation could be in the works right now. That's why maybe you're kind of feeling like you're not going anywhere. The transformation kind of almost puts you on stall mode for when you're moving forward. But we're going to see what's going on with you here. Maybe because you haven't had a spiritual death, you're feeling like you're not going anywhere, or maybe that death that you are disconnecting from the old way of being could be in play right now, and sometimes it takes a bit. I went through my spiritual programming for 5 years, and I'm still going through it, and I'm 5 years into this. Right, so and I do clearly remember when I first started, though. I went through my spiritual death. I had my out-of-body experiencing with my higher self, and it was the best thing that could ever have happened to me. I'll tell you that much. It's a different way of looking at things, for sure. So just going on my experience, just to give you some info, I went through 4 years of seeing dark energy. I don't call it demonic, but to most people it would be considered demonic. It was a long road, exactly. It's not a hop, skip, and a jump away. You can't just hop into it, skip along, and then jump and have your leap of faith and expect to land on something soft. Because it will be something hard. You may not even have any cushion to bear. You have to have a reason for them to want to put something soft underneath that leap of faith a lot of times. Okay, so it said death when I was starting to talk about your thing. Now you have to see in everybody's... You can't cheat. That's another thing. You cannot cheat and take a shortcut with your spiritual growth. You can't, because it will bring it right back to you. It'll throw it back in front of you, and it'll become a blocker. So so be aware of that. Right? Be aware that you're going to try to cheat and take the little roundabout path to get through the marathon faster. You're going to have barricades and you're going to have blocks put in front of you until you get back on that path. It's simple as that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. If you're going down the wrong idea of what your spirit is guiding you for, trust me, it will give you a kick in the ass, and it'll wake you up real quick. It'll give you a wake-up call, and you will be sitting there just like a deer in headlights going, holy shit, I shouldn't have done that. That's what she was talking about. So I'm just giving you a heads up. Be aware of what you're doing. Be conscious of all your thoughts when you're going down the spiritual path, because it's like spirit can read your mind. Spirit can actually get into the thought process with you and help guide you, right? So be aware of that. It will throw blockers at you. You could be running down the road and hitting a good cruising speed, and you're happy. Everything's going all in and everything's falling into place. And that one thing that you thought wasn't going to be a blocker, bam, all of a sudden is. Okay, so those are what I mean between learning to maneuver your life path, and to be able to avoid hitting such blockers, so that you're not hitting a brick wall when it does come up. You're better prepared to, have enough time to get around the block and look at it. That time doesn't have to be a blocker for you. If you just, pull up to it, you have to stop in front of it, obviously, and then look at it. And then up go the rails and off you go again. That's what it works like. Okay, at least in my experience, and my journey has been like that. Okay, so we got 3 cards. I'm going to verify with Pendulum for us. We want to make sure that these 3 cards that we're going to read for you are actually the 3 cards that you should have for your spiritual journey. All right, so Pendulum, are these 3 cards for Clarence the cards that he needs to have for his reading today?
Being practice and manipulation.
Okay, so it's going back and forth, which is a yes. So these 3 cards that I'm going to read today are for your reading today. Okay, so there's a yes there for you. Thank you, Pendulum. You stop now, please.
5 separate.
And my Pendulum will stop and go when I tell it to go. So it stops right there. Okay, so we have
a strong yes for these cards. So your current situation that you're in, I'm feeling, is very very limited. Okay, you're not getting very good connections. Let's find out. So we're getting you're feeling a little tense right now, is apparently what they're saying. You're unsure, you're confused, you're stressed out to the max over this. So your first one is the Seven of Swords. Yes, we're on the air. So don't get all shy now, because you are on the air. Okay, so you have the Seven of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and you have the Eight of Swords. So you feel like you're going around in a circle with this, is what I'm getting. You're starting at one point, and it's like you're revisiting the same thing over and over again, like you're repeating too much of the journey. And you're feeling like you're stuck in a rut on that one, path that you've just continued to take and round 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 we go again. I feel like you need to stop and focus on what is stop. Why are you hitting this roundabout that you can't get off? Okay, so it's obviously trying to send you a message in regards to your direction is obviously going circular. It's not linear for you. You're not moving forward, and you don't have the guidance to move you forward. You're ready to roll with this. You have a very strong energy in regards to moving forward, but you're being brought back to the beginning. So what is at the beginning of this message for you with this Seven of Swords that you're not hearing, or with the Knight of Swords that you're not hearing, because you're still staying you're kind of in the middle. You're in the middle of the situation, because you have, on one side you have the Seven, and on the other side you have the Knight. Okay, so you're stuck in the middle with the Eight. And your Eight is trying to say, okay, well, which way do you want to go? What path do you want to take? How do you want to start your spiritual awakening? Okay. What mile marker are you on? Like, where do you want to go with this? Like, ask yourself, what do you want to achieve from having this information given to you? How is it going to change, how you perceive everything? How is it going to be actually something that you really want to work at? Or are you just going to shrug it off and say, oh, I'll deal with it later? Okay, because when you start your spiritual journey, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and it's very stressful on you. It requires movement. Okay, it requires that. So if you want to stay at the Eight of Swords energy and stay blindfolded to your own truth, then stay there. But how will he not? Okay, so now we're going to get into that. We're going to tell you how not to get stuck in that. Okay, so you have some residual energy that, you weren't aware of, that you are carrying with you. Like we've got this guy in reverse. Okay, so
It was everywhere.
here's the guy sitting in reverse. So you're kind of going, okay, well, I want to move to the Eight, and there's the Eight energy in the middle. So you're very close to what path you want to take. You didn't really go too far backwards, but you have to realize that some of the work that you do have to do, it requires some back work. So maybe that's why the Knight of Swords is being patient for you to be able to work through to get back up on the right path to hit that Knight and say, okay, take me on my next journey. Okay, take me to the next thing that I need to learn. There's all these past ones that you're avoiding. Like you have to go back through your life and unpack that suitcase that you've carried around with all the emotions, all the experiences, and all, the messages that you've had, and work through it. You've just, clumsily or, not knowing what you've been packing along with you all your life. The emotions that, just pack them away. No big deal. Everything's just no big deal. It becomes a very big deal when you have to revisit it. And the energy that you have to revisit it can be very draining. It could be a new experience. It could be a hard experience for you to learn from. But those are what you have to do in order to be able to move forward. You have to work through that energy. You can't carry your life suitcase and expect your whole life to fit in one suitcase. You have to put things away. You have to put things, in order, and keep that, spiritual sound of yourself organized and understood. So now you're going back through your life suitcase that you've just kind of thrown every emotion, every experience in, and packed and shut it. That's it. That's all you think you have to do with it? No. Now you get to go back and revisit it and heal from it. Those experiences that even were the hardest ones to experience, or even the best experience of your life, you get to go back and experience it. So you have an understanding of what it feels like to be a spirit energy.
You can revisit, you can repack, you can, reschedule things. You can, you don't have to take it all at once. You can work on individual ones. You get to have the opportunity to go back and work through those emotions that, have bombarded you or kind of slowed you down because you have to carry around the suitcase. And after putting everything in, it gets heavy after a while, dragging it around, right? So you're working harder. Or you can lighten the load and throw yourself on a backpack and learn how to deal with emotions and experiences while you're dealing with them. Okay? The things that are of importance. And you have to get rid of the things that don't suit you. If you've grown out of the pants that you wore at 5 years of age, you think you'd still be wearing them now or carrying them around in this physical world? No, you wouldn't be. So you have to learn to, allow, experiences to take form again and understand the feeling and the experience in itself. And what is the lesson that you had to learn? Because I guarantee you start unpacking that, you'll be like, oh, I didn't know I had to learn that from that. That's not, you start putting 2 and 2 together to figure out where you were supposed to get, 2 and 2 or 2 plus 1 plus 1 equals 3, not 2. Okay, so now you have to understand where that third part came from. And that was creation of you and whatever energy that memory has pertaining to it. So it could be a bad relationship with your parents, or it could be a best friend that, kind of just cut the relationship. Those are emotions that you have to work through and understand the emotion part of things, not the motion part, but you have to understand the emotion tied to it now, right? I don't have my chat open. Like experiencing everything that's happening in your life so you can let it go and be able to create new, more positive, more enlightened, more understood emotions in the future. Okay, so then you can actually make it to the night, but you have to do some backwards, treading to get there. So you're in the middle, and this is where you're going to work through all these swords and all the baggage and all the door. Okay, nobody's at my door. Somebody's at the door somewhere. Or opening the door to your journey. Okay, that could be what that meant. I pick it up as soon as I tune into it, I'll pick it up. So you have to open and close doors. You have to, keep the door open in your spiritual movement and actually say, okay, I need to take a break from, trying to move forward with all this extra baggage, because you can't move forward very fast. It's a lot lighter. It's a lot quicker than you think. But you have to work through, experiences that you experience. The ones that are most prominent in your mind from your memories, you don't have to get rid of the memory. You can pack it away for later. But the strongest ones are the messages that you usually have to work on. So the memories that stick out, say, you had a falling out with your brother when you were growing up, or, the memories that have a lot of emotion tied to it are the best ones to start with first. So you're going back, you're thinking back to last year and just think, it's like a chest that you're opening, like it's all full of gold. That's what you want, to be able to open your thing and say, wow, I really worked hard to get, But, you get to go back and experience things and allow yourself to experiencing them, right? You don't have to go and do it, publicly or, with anybody else in the room. You can, through meditation, you can do some projection, but I never recommend doing astral projection without somebody there to monitor what you're doing as far as your body movements, because it can be very dangerous that you disconnect and it's hard to come back. And meaning come back is experientially coming back to your actual own body. You can actually disconnect and actually, I've heard of people disconnecting and not being able to enter their soul again. They're done. They die during an astral projection. And yes, you can. You can. And there's a lot of people that won't tell you that, but I'm telling you that you can actually cause your own death from astral projection and not tethering yourself properly. Right? And it's not good. Okay, so if you want to do astral projection, make sure you have somebody with you that understands it, knows what to look for when you're doing it. But yeah, you can hear videos on YouTube of people that actually have disconnected from their body, actually gone and had their actual death, but because they were returned to this state of being because they weren't done learning yet. But you can actually go through a real life death. You can stop breathing. You can start, your body can shut down on you. And it's not a good feeling to have. So be very wary. And I don't think there's enough emphasis on this from people that do it. They think of it as just a joke and a game of astral projecting and meeting other souls and everything that are in the astral plane. It's a lot more difficult than that. If you end up going on the wrong path of it, you could actually end up failing at, they would, there you go. See, you can join them. They said, you can join us. How would you return your body? First of all, when you start, I'm not going to teach you astral projection so early in your spirituality, though. That would be a mistake on my part. But if you were to ever do it, I would ask somebody that's done it a lot and can tether you properly. I don't understand the tethering process. I know how to tether myself, and I make sure that I don't disconnect from my body. It's because I have like it's almost like a white cord that brings me back like a kite. It's like experiencing life as a kite. You have that string that brings you back, and you'd never disconnect completely. When your astral projection is over, it's over. Okay, they don't tell you when it's going to stop or when it's going to end and where you're going to be. They are just going to cut it. Okay, they'll cut the ending of that astral projection off for you. And that's when it gets scary, because you sometimes need the guide to find the guide again to get you back. But don't let yourself do that at first. You make sure that you make it clear to your subconscious that you want to be able to return, that you want to return to yourself, that you want to be tethered, and imagine a cord to you. I'm just going to tell you, this is my experience and this is how I did it. But don't take my advice as the only advice. Do your homework on astral projection for sure, and then have a really good understanding, because mine was just thrown at me when I did mine, and I experienced being actually buried alive in a coffin. I went from the coffin into the astral plane, and there was an energy behind me that was showing me the importance of what I need to focus my energy on, what I need to really be, working at hard. And it showed me my 3 children that I sacrificed being a mom to, so their dad could remain in the country. So that was my focus. That's what was supposed to be my priority. But because of, you end up clarifying the base as you want to come back, and you make that clear with your subconscious, and you implant that into the subconscious for yourself. But you can see some really weird shit happening when you astral project. Don't get involved in other people connections. Don't interfere, don't intertwine with people too much on the astral plane, because you can bring back their energy, and then you're tied physically to that person, spiritually. Sorry, not physically, but you can actually bring their, and whatever they are creating in their life can have an actual effect on you. I've felt it with people, and substances that you want to do. If you're astral projection, do not be on any substance when you astral project as well. Do not go there, because it's not a pure state of being. The only time that I'm in pure state of me is when I'm sleeping, when I'm not engaging in the physical part of my life. That's when I'm at most pure. That's when I try to get the most information from, is when I'm dreaming. That way you're not taking substances, you're not putting any thoughts in your head, you're not doing anything, and that's when you are most purest, is when you're doing nothing. You're not having to have thoughts about other people, because you automatically have a thought about someone. It can affect, your whole day. There's so many different avenues to this whole experiencing that, you're in the middle and you're trying to go from one side to the other. It's very difficult if you're jumping back and forth. Just keep your mind focused on, you want to imagine like a pathway that has nothing on it. When you move forward, you want to, because there's nothing written. Your future isn't written in stone. It's whatever experiences you want to pick up along the way after you've gone and kind of cleared your suitcase out for new experiences to be held. And each time you take a step down the road or you interact with somebody, you'll find that you'll start interacting with people that are spiritual, and you won't even understand why. But the experiences that you start having is you start experiencing and being drawn into people, and no word of a lie, you'll be drawn towards people that are spiritual in your waking hours. You'll end up talking with people, or you'll hear conversations going on around you that have spiritual meaning, and you'll just be like, everything around you is like a whole difference. It's different. It's not like you wake up the next day and it's a humdrum same. It is drastically different. You start seeing, you start hearing, because that's where you've decided to take your journey. And when you start experiencing that, it is an awesome feeling that, you can absorb other energy and understand the actual conversation, instead of before it would be like nothing you would pay attention to. It becomes more enlightenment for you, because there's a lot of people out there that may have the enlightenment that they don't even understand what they're doing or saying, or even comprehend it yet, because they haven't had their spiritual death. And it'll hit a nerve on you. You will be like, whoa, that wasn't like that before. What the hell? And you'll be questioning everything that goes on around you, and you'll be like freaked out. Your eyes will be like you hit the candy store jackpot, and be going, holy shit. And it's overwhelming. Don't get overwhelmed by it. Just breathe and just listen. because the first part of your journey is about listening and understanding that the whole journey in itself is so different, but the same for a lot of people, just on different wavelengths. Right, so that's maybe where you are, is once you get used to traveling that middle ground with your energy and with other people's energy. You're not jumping all over the place, interacting with people just randomly, just playing the game of life type thing. You turn it into a spiritual experience, and it gets very overwhelming at first. So don't get overwhelmed. It's just what happens with a lot of people. Okay, like you become white, like this card is actually like glowing almost. It's almost like that. You're glowing. You're like a beacon for attracting like a moth to a flame at that point. And that's when that cycle starts. So my suggestion to you, just from your cards, is I would sit in and try to not take on any more experiences in your life too much, that you try to focus on what has already happened for the time being, heal from some of that energy that you've brought forward, and release it out of or pack it away, that you've dealt with it, and you kind of put it in the memory box that you don't really need. It's like a winter cleaning. You bring out the winter clothes when it's winter, and you put away the spring clothes when it's spring. You have to like pack it in different memory banks now, and just the experiences. And it might feel like you need to be crawling at first. It'll feel like like when I did, I actually came out of a hole in the ground that was mentally there, but wasn't, and it was an actual hospital hallway that I went from crawling state down and jumped up, and I sped. I just took off like lightning, and then I collapsed. That's what it's going to feel like. You're moving fast, then you stop, and then you collapse. So you have to be aware of your energy when that happens. When it's time to collapse. Take the energy that you've learned for the day, go over it, and take it back and deal with it, and then say, hey. But if you don't feel you need to, then don't put the effort into it. If it's nothing that's really priority to your path at the moment, you can pack it away and look at something different, right? So always be aware of emotion is, what did I say it was earlier, you guys? An expectation of motion, right? Puck. Do you play hockey?
Sure did.
I'm wondering if you play hockey. Something came to me just with that puck. It says hockey. I don't know.
Who's knocking at my door?
I don't know who's knocking at your door. I'm not.
The nearest tree.
You guys keep talking about next door. Okay. Where are we here? Let me move this. I gotta get my chat up here. Oh yeah, meditation. I'm gonna play a meditation song in the background because I love my native music on when I'm channeling. So we're gonna put that on, and we'll turn it down just a bit here. Hang on one sec. This is called the Circle Song, and it's Lai Leoloala. And it's called the Circle Song. Everything starts at the beginning, has to go back to the end. Right? So we end up kind of starting in diapers as babies, and we go back to that basic personal view. Okay, so we're going to turn this on. And this is called the Circle Song. It actually has lyrics in it. That is like, apparitions. We'll do apparitions later. So choose your path and choose it wisely, because everything that you start doing on your spiritual path is recorded. Okay, so make sure all your intentions are with pure thought and pure energy. And always think of the positive outlook. You'll be presented with negative, and it's your choice to how you're going to live with it. If you're going to keep it as a negative energy in your life, or if you want to be able to manifest a more positive experience out of it. That's, what you get, the option. You get more options available to you that Spirit's willing to offer to you, instead of just going, every day going, to your 9 to 5 or whatever, and not really thinking too much about, every step you take has an effect on your spiritual path. You can ask anybody here. They would probably view the same thing for you, right? And it is. We are just spirit, right? Okay, so where are we here? I have, there we go, okay. I need to do a past life regression. Past life regression is a good thing to do, but make sure that you're seeing an honorable, an actual one. Don't just take the word of anything. I visited my go-to lady, and she's from the UK. I can recommend her because she did it for me. She told me that some of my past life regression, I was part of the Titanic that drained, and I also got pushed off a building by a loved one, by my partner. Pushed me off the top of a building. That's why I have a fear of heights, and that's why I'm scared of water. I'm scared of drowning. I'm scared of going in like the ocean and swimming. Right? I won't do it. But her name is Cheryl, and it's Sheryl. Lynn Perfect, and you can find her on Facebook. She's an amazing woman. She can help you out. She taught me everything I need to know,
and told me to take this challenge on for myself, that this would be a good challenge for me. I've done work with her in regards to clearing energy from places they visit that are haunted. I've been able to pick up on the energy all the way from the UK to here and helped her with that. And she also can confirm who I am as well, as far as my skills. So, so what else? Oh, Sharon, you're here. So maybe that spiritual death is going to be the next stage after you um, there is try drawing on the energy of your past things that have gone. Meditate on it. Things might just pop in of experiences that you don't remember, that kind of you put away and you haven't seen in a long time or experienced. Because I brought back a lot that I didn't know, right? Well, no, it's not scary, but you have to be aware of the pros and cons of doing astral projection, and that's what I mean. I don't sugarcoat it here. I give you the straight truth of what can happen and what can't. You can ask anybody that's done astral projection; they'll probably tell you the same thing. Because I don't think astral projection totally changes what its purpose is. Why would you want to do astral projection in the first place? It doesn't have to do with anything with past life regression at all. So, what would be your purpose then? To go and have interactions with other spiritual beings. I've never done that. I've never wanted to be intertwined with somebody that I would happen to bring back their energy to deal with on top of myself. That's why I don't deal with the karmic no more. I won't take on anybody else's karmic energy. I'm done writing my own, and I'm quite happy with the way things are going than having, burdens of others, kind of, jumping, on my back to be able to get through life, right? So, yeah, I don't like monkeys on my back. But do your homework on it,
Confirmation.
I jumped in with both feet, so I kind of brought it on myself. You can do that too if you want. You learn real quick what to do and what not to do. But that's just my experience. That's just from what I experienced and what I drew on, what energy.
The door came and lifted.
That's what I do. I take the risk. I take the leaps of faith faster than I did before, that's for sure. I'll just give it, I just word it, send it to the universe, and get a message back. And it's very quickly. So Sharon, my dreams, nightmares are too realistic and vivid. Is that the same? When you're sleeping and you're in your dream state, that's when your subconscious is showing you kind of yeah, and that's the other thing, the portal part. I forgot about that. Thank you, Daisy. Yeah, I don't like portals opening up. I've taken pictures of my house where I've seen dark mass. I've taken a picture that was reflecting another room in my house that was showing demons that I posted in a Facebook group on for psychics and psychic and channelers in one of the private groups, and they told me they saw 5 demons within that photo. So I do have demons around me at all times. I've gone and pulled out photos of when I was probably 5 or 6, and you can see them in the mirrors at my grandma's house following. Right? You can see them peeking through items. In between them, you can make a face out of it. It's very freaky. It is. And I opened up portals I didn't know that I was opening. And I let in a lot more than I was bargained for. I've been experiencing having a demonic force take over my boyfriend and channel the energy through him. But he doesn't remember. He doesn't even remember having those moments, or me even being in the same room as him. But I was actually being shown Jesus. I was shown a devil, coercing me to come back to the other side, come back to the dark magic side, which I don't. I told him he could take his magic and go get the hell out of my house. He's not welcome here. And then I had him take on the formation of Jesus Christ, saying, "It's okay, Karen. It's fine. It's all right." And then I broke down and I just cried. He says, "It's so hard watching you from the other side of the glass." And then I freaked out, because why would Jesus come through and be like, like that whole look that I just gave you, that's what he gave me. Why would you be scared? I've been looking through the glass. And he just like glared at me like that demonic, and I just, no, I'm not doing it. It wasn't guiding me to be on that side of the house at that time. And he said, "Don't you remember me, Karen? Don't you remember me?" And his face changed for a brief second. It flashed, and it was like he saw Jesus Christ's face. And I went, whoa. Now, what the hell have I been smoking to experience that? Nothing. At that point, my house went hot like a tomb. Like it felt like I was stuck in a broiler room. I was on the other side, and then I laid down in my bed, and then a god form took over my boyfriend, because that's what I asked for. I wanted him
the actual protection of God to come over and protect me. Then I went to bed and I laid down, and he said, "Close your eyes, Karen." A very calm-spoken person came through and said, "Just close your eyes, Karen. Just close your eyes, and what do you see?" And I closed my eyes, and I literally, it was like I was going through the galaxy at that point and seeing stars go by, moving in that linear forward motion. And I said, "Are they real?" And he said to me, "Are what real, Karen?" I said, "The galaxy, the stars." And he said, "Yes, it's very real. This is how it is." And he said, "Just close your eyes, get some rest now. You need to rest." And I went to sleep. My partner came running across from the neighbor's house across the alley, run into the house. He opens the door and he says, "Did you call me?" I said, "No, I just got up." He says, "I heard you calling me, your voice calling me from across the way." So we had that connection briefly, and it wasn't me that was doing it. It was temptation that coerced him to come over here, because he opened the door. He didn't step in, and this is where he lives. He did not step in. He popped his head in and said, "Did you call me?" So I knew at that point, when I went back to review it, that I allowed that demon into my house when I said, "No, I just got up." And he's like, "Do you need me?" And I'm like, "I don't know why." And he just sat on the couch, and this whole thing played out in a matter of 15 minutes. It was over and done. I can't explain it. Even he can't explain it. He tries to revisit it and can't pull the memories up. And I think he's having a hard time facing with what went on that time, because he doesn't remember. He wasn't able to be in control of demonic energy being able to enter his body very fast, right? He had, you know what I mean? So it was very discomforting to him that he wasn't able to be here on physical to help, I think, and he's having a hard time dealing with that emotion, which, after it was all done and over with, I wasn't too fearful of things, but I did stop sleeping in my room for 2 months because of it. I didn't want to sleep in my room. I didn't want to, even sleep, because I was scared about my dreams, because I would get choked out in my dreams by people coming through and shaking me and choking me, saying, "Wake up, like, pay attention." And I wasn't paying attention when I was supposed to be paying attention. So it was very scary for the longest time. I even was, had an experience where I went to sleep. I ended up on my hands and knees in my kitchen, and I was going like this, clawing at my own throat, because I was feeling that they were choking me and keeping me here, is what they said. "We don't want you to go. You can't leave. You can't leave us here." And I wasn't going anywhere. You'll even hear it on the box say, "Should you, or must you go?" And you'll hear it a lot on my box when I start tuning out from it. Yeah, you can astral project. Sometimes even when you're daydreaming, you can astral project and not even realize that you're doing it until after you've come back. What I found about spiritually, all I wanted to do was astral project, but I realized there's more to it. There is. Like, a lot of people think that astral projecting is all fun and games. Well, it's not always fun and games, right? Spirituality is a very serious thing if you're taking it on. If you're just wanting to have fun with it, I don't think that's a reason to want to astral project. It's like learning the different language. You learn all the swear words first. You hear about all the, stuff and experiences you can have. If you take it and you run into a spiritual being that you're not spiritual plane as well as they are, they will look at you like, almost like, "Who the fuck are you?" They won't even interact with you. They'll just be like, "Nah, it's not worth it." Maze, which is Lucifer's right-hand person, is what I was being portrayed as, that I was like a right-hand player for the devil. When I lived in my past life, is what I get every time. I was one of those demons that got away, and I'm sacrificed a lot to get here. I didn't. Quite old-fashioned. I'm not old-fashioned, not at all. But yeah, if you go look up who Maze is, you'll find out it's just like in that show Lucifer. His right-hand person. And I actually have pictures of an actual demon devil looking through a mirror at my grandmother's house when I was probably 5 or 6 years old, that my brother found in the photo myself. And my partner's looked at them, and he's even seen pictures of demons in my photos, but they're not there the next time he looks at them. They manifest just automatically, warping, a matrix kind of energy. It's bizarre. But he's even noticed it where the demon isn't there, like, the next time he's gone to look at it. And it's not a head game. It's not a camera trick. They were done on Polaroid film and taken in my grandmother's house. And she was very, tied into religion very harshly. There's tiles on, like, they have like shiny tiles in their little fake fireplace that you can see people standing in, and you can see outlines of people formation that they've taken, and so they can reveal themselves. And there's one little tile that's glossy black, and it's this big, and you can see a little person standing in it. So it gets pretty intense. If you want it to get intense, be aware of the demons and everything that you might encounter, that can change in a minute and be shapeshifters. There's a lot to it. That's what I'm saying. The astral projection, is not just a 1, 2, 3, let's do it. It's, visualizing and meditating probably would be a better asset for you to start with, personally. Learning to visualize it first, not jumping into astral projection, because you kind of get, you won't understand what beings you're interacting with on that plane, because they're all there. There's not just one. They're all there. So try with doing meditation. Start by guided meditation, so you learn how to do the visualization, that you're in control of it. So that would be my first avenue, would be try doing visualization and creating your your astral projection plane ahead of time. Start working into it, and then you'll understand it when you get hit with it. So start start with your visualization, which took me, I don't know, it took me about 6 months to get it right down to a T. And I can go into trance state at any given time. I could go, it's like when you're coming out of your sleep, I do a lot of mumbling when I actually I'm just waking up, or I'm just kind of halfway into this realm, and then my dreaming state. When I'm coming from one energy into the actual present, I actually do say things that just don't make sense, but they make sense for me to bring that energy through for myself. And that's what I'm doing, is I'm bringing my energy from my pure state that I was learning, or the lesson. The energy is being brought into this realm for me now. Right? That's the way that I perceive it to be. And your perception might be different. Everybody has their own rate of growing. Everybody has their own experiences. So no two experiences will be similar, but not exactly alike. Okay, so just don't be scared of it. The one thing is, having fear when you're doing it is the biggest problem, that you don't have fear. There's nothing that you need to fear but fear itself. And fear is false evidence appearing real. Right? So everything that just doesn't vibe with you is your false evidence. Demons do exist. I can say that they do, but they're dark energy, which is usually energy you've brought back from either a different existence, from a past life, that you're carrying with you, and that you were never taught how to release. So now you're learning all this stuff so that you can move forward, and you don't have to bring it into your next existence, whatever it may be. Okay, so it's awakening your spirit to be able to allow your spirit to finally manifest in a good manner in this lifetime. Learn the messages, learn the consequences that we were given from past lives is all being written out. When you start to do the awakening, you're being written off from your karmic expression. Okay? That's how I perceive it. But give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I just have to go and check out something here.
Davey,
I didn't even realize I muted it for you guys.
I got you just go out.
And his heart rose up
Here's
to
all you're doing your meetings.
Well, have a beer. Why don't you go buy a beer so you can have one after?
Why? You get someone else to buy me a beer over here.
Well, you know, everybody can hear you now, so.
Oh,
A window, which
the ink just looked
I know.
like, whether I do or not, I mean, if I want to, I'm sure I'll find it.
explained to Walker. Free from the bonding.
Free from what pond is I'm sitting here now.
Made all the cleaning up, You made that coffee and took all the cream.
you know, before I do.
It was left.
Nice. I'm gonna tell them to bring over a big bottle next time you come over. Bring over a big bottle of creamer, you know.
Oh, well, we got one. That's good. Keep that.
Sit in the horizon.
Team did not.
Make some fresh toast after.
I don't know. I've never actually bought a copy of his house, ever. That's weird. I wonder if he's using a copy.
Something to do with it.
No, it's not worthy of one.
The constitution.
Not worthy of one. He only ever comes here when he needs something. I'm gonna talk to him about that.
Well, better.
It's not like I'm at his house begging for shit.
I still
No,
love
what
that
we-
was a true official girlfriend.
Well, what do you want?
No. So I told him, give me a couple minutes, I'll clean up the bedroom, and work and fucking wander around.
Where you want to go?
I had it. Yeah, I mean,
According to God.
and for that, that's not fuck my sister.
Huh?
Top of the key.
Yeah, I need a smoke here. All right, so
I'm going shoppers and get some groceries.
yeah. So, anyways, Daisy, I wanted to show you this one if you're still there. These are what I do in my spare time when I'm not doing the channel. So this was the latest one that we made. So we got they look white, but they're gray. And then, you know, we've got this little feather in the middle here just hanging out. So this one I made yesterday for you. It was really quick and simple. But, you know, it's the smallest one that I have, like the smallest hoop that I had. So, you know, I chose this one. It needed to be redone. So, and this is another one that I've made, traditional hanging ones. I usually do them like in the what they call baby mobiles, which they're not. You know, they're just non-traditional kind of ones that I do. So that's another one that I got done the other day. So I'm gonna work on another one tonight, and I'm gonna make it based on like a metallic gray, so that we can, you know, add whatever color to the feathers that we want to add that time. So. All right, so what are we going on here? How is everything going here, you guys? Is it possible to astral project without meaning to? I think you can, depending on where you are in your spirituality, as far as that is. You know, depending on what your intentions are when you go into meditative state, you can actually go in from a meditative state and actually become astral projection. It all depends on what your spirit's allowing for you or that you've learned as far as your capabilities or your experience with it. So it keeps us updated if possible. Yeah. So that's the way that I've experienced it anyway. Everybody's experience, there was only one other person that I forgot to write her name down, but she was having the exact same mirror image of my energy of what I was going through. She was asking around the channels, I think it was one of the communities, and asked the same question and told about her astral projection, and people were telling her that she shouldn't be on drugs and everything, but it is really far out there kind of experience that people would think you're absolutely nuts about because they've never experienced it, they have no knowledge of it. Right, so
Ashley's back.
Chapter.
I just took a 5-minute break just to step away and check on my little kitty and see how she's doing, because she's been going through a heat, and you know, she gets kind of like sick after, which is weird because she was getting sick the other night, so it seemed like the energy thing
What the law could never
with in regards. I've been reading on Zen Buddhism. What is Zen Buddhism? Is it like a meditative practice or what? I've never heard. What do you mean, Daisy? Why would you want? So what did I miss here at work? Just chill. You missed we did a energy reading to take a peek at the week ahead. By sign, like earth, air, wind, and fire. I always get them screwed up. So earth, water, fire, and earth, water, fire, and air. That's it, right? Earth, water, fire. Yeah, fire and air. So we did each one basically on that.
Flesh is death.
But I went not you know, there's different things, like, you know, whatever works for you as far as your spirituality. Like how I travel on my spiritual journey right now is whatever resonates and feels like the right thing to do. I usually tend to go with, like, you know, taking 4 rights will keep you on the same path. But at the same point, you know, you need a little bit of, you know, things that are happening in your life to experience, right? But getting into with other people that are spiritually awoken, you know, and see what kind of things that work for them in a positive sense, right? You know, you want to know what's really going on. I just want to Google that Zen spirit. Okay, here we go. We got Niho Naha. Okay. Where are we here? Oh, this is Tatanka, the spiritual. This is a really nice one. I'm not going to have it so loud, though. Why? Why is it so loud? I'm going to turn it down a bit there. Here, we'll put Love Mountain. Okay. We'll put Love Mountain on. We'll turn it down a bit here. Where is it now? Come on. Ni Yeha Noha is what the Yeha Noha is what the name of the meditation song is. I like it. It actually just gets me totally in the group for everything. Makes me feel good. Zen Ni Buddhism. Okay, let me look that up. I want to see what it says. See what correlation, if it has anything that would kind of resonate with me. Thanks for that, though. I've never heard of it, and you know, it just helps me more on my journey to understand more of different avenues to Indian, Mahayan, Buddhism, and Taoism. It began in China, spread to Korea, and became very popular in Western Zen. So it's almost like you know, it's like I'm kind of reading on this, and without being misled by logical thought. Yeah, so you're basically dealing directly with your spirit and understanding that. And then it's like you're coming into a dimension of where you're going to learn from, right? That you're on a new learning curve. So what's the purpose of Zen Buddhism? Happy. There you go. But it doesn't make a practitioner or a person, a morally more of a better person. It's almost like doing, what do you call that thing that they do, the slow motion movements in the park? Tai Chi is what that would kind of maybe make me feel of, right? You know, that's what I mean. The Instagram talks about what? I'm sorry, I missed that. Hang on, I'm going to open it in another chat. You know, like my experience is my experience, you know, is definitely different than the average one, but I've always been that way. I always take like the different route than what I don't know what people are doing. It was like what my higher self kept telling me. If people are running one way, do the opposite. Do the opposite. Don't go in the direction they're all going, because it's not your direction. You know, you're on a different path, a different way of being than what you're used to following suit, like, you know, being one of the the sleeping sheep, as they like to say in the society. I don't do it. I don't know the way people do it. I'm the opposite, and I'm going to make my own path, and I'm going to make my own journey from this point forward, because that's what you're supposed to be learning. Don't be one of the followers. Be your independent growth, and do your own independent spirituality that makes you grow in a direction that's happier, that's more non-traditional than what everybody in society is doing it. So let's get on the happy train, and hope that there's enough there when we get there. You know what I mean? That's not a way to live. It's not. Being on a different level and being loving and caring about yourself, understanding what you are and your emotions and why you have those embedded in you when you come into this existence is what you're supposed to be learning. You're not supposed to be, just doing, the 9-to-5 job and that's what all you're here for. That seems pretty compliant if you're going to work a 9-to-5 job, and that's what the control that they're saying that a lot of this one world government's going to have, and all this, fear-based programming that they're still doing to every single one of you. You can't fear death. You can't fear anything. You have to be absolutely fearless. I've gone through the stage even of this last little wife fearing death. Like, I don't want to be gone. I don't want to have to leave this existence now that I'm awake. But if I would have learned this before when I was young, like so many are, I would probably have a different outlook. But, I'm pushing almost 50, and in a few years I'll be 50, and I've wasted, those 50 years doing what society wanted me to do, and not, trying to find my own way through my life. I've always just gone, with the masses, and I was wrong. It brought me into a very dumb way of feeling when I awoke and went, I have been an idiot all my life, and there's nothing more bruising to an ego than feeling like you've wasted your ego. You've wasted your whole life following nothing that had any substance to it, right? It has no substance to it. It's just a general thing that happens everywhere, and wasn't, giving me any satisfaction, and realizing that I wasn't getting the satisfaction from the things that I thought I needed, and then going back and realizing that, I had everything at my at my beck and call when I was about 24, when I had my children, and everything I almost had everything I needed, but I didn't have me. Today I have me, and then I don't have all those things that matter to me, like family, friends. They don't matter to me anymore, because I don't get to take any of you with me. But I'm learning to enjoy it right now as I have it, right? If anything was out. We're all magicians. We all are. We get to that stage of being to manifest, and we are magicians. You're what you want to be every day of your life from that point forward. You get to pick whatever challenge that what rises in front of you. You get to pick you could even change your name every day, and nobody would care. Nobody would even care to know why you're changing your name every day. You know what I mean? You could be Ashley today and Joe Schmo tomorrow, and nobody would even care. They would ask you why, and you'd tell them, and they'd be like, okay, whatever. It wouldn't matter. So that's how much it becomes very personal and very spiritual, is when you can actually just be happy by yourself. You don't actually even need to exist with another human being if you don't want to. I wouldn't want to exist on it with all the human beings that are here, that are sleeping, and with nothing to do. That's what I get like, is like, I don't like to be that, that empty energy that's just like here. What am I doing here? Why should I stick around? Because there's nobody that really gives a damn. So, let's just off ourselves. And maybe that's what people do when they get suicidal. They get awake and realize that there's really no purpose in actually being existence in this world without having spirituality. You really are a dead person inside. You gain spirituality, and a whole new, locust flower envelops from the top of your head. You get that tree growing up. You gain more knowledge. What part are you supposed to let go? What part, when are you supposed to let go of this existence, is what I want to know. How much more growth do you have to do before your existence ends? And for me, that answer came to me 2 weeks ago when I understood I don't have anything to believe in anymore, so why should I exist? I cease to exist, and cease to exist my spirituality when I'm around people that aren't experiencing theirs and building more. It gets very, very lonely at the top when you're starting to gain your spirituality, and to be able to teach that to somebody else. Teach, tell, and share my story was what I was told by my higher self. My higher self is very in tune with me, and I keep regular checking in, but there's even times when even that's not even there. It's not even acknowledging my existence until I start getting back on talking about spirituality all the time.
She has the
I
spirit.
don't need to. I am a spirit, and I get the feeling of wanting to leave this planet, and like, when's my death gonna come? Like, that's all that I'm looking forward to now. How I can avoid it, but it's still gonna come,
Excel.
regardless. Regardless. However, I choose to make sure that I delay it a bit, I can, but inevitable, death is gonna become us, every single one of us. There's nothing you can do about that. You can't change that. So enjoy it while you can. It's hard because
Forbid.
you don't enjoy it like you used to, and it's a very lonely place to be when you have kind of lost your whole thought of the way things were going to be, and have that totally flipped over and pulled you. Yeah, you don't become your own driver anymore, if you really put it that way. The only thing that's driving you now is avoiding death. I don't know. It's hard to say, right? It's hard to say. Your moods change every day. But death has been on my mind. Like, I don't want to die. I don't want to leave this place. And just when I'm starting to get the idea how it works, why would you want to leave? You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at. I'm kind of caught at that stage of, being completely whole. If I become completely whole, the fear of death coming after that, because I am a whole person, right? So it makes you wonder, what the hell? Why should you be fearful of dying? I wouldn't say that I'm not fearful of it, because it comes up more than I want it to. I'm not, I'm not a young spring chicken anymore at that. I've gone through my trials and tribulations, worked through them in that 5 years that took me to get to this point, to be able to talk about my story even, to even be a vocal person in the public eye,
Option. Interact to the
But that's what I was pushed forward to, and I was told to share my story, tell, teach, and share. And doing that, I give forward my best knowledge, the things that work for me, the things that have seemed to be just a general thing that happens in the spiritual awakening positions. Share those. I don't know. I am. Don't look as old as I am. Been through the ringer and back. Some days it shows more than others when I'm exhausted.
working.
But Clarence, it's a very enduring thing. though. It can be fun if you allow it to be fun. Things that you have questions about, ask. It's not about the question you ask; it's how you ask the question, though, mind you. Like, it doesn't bother me to have my questions asked or things to be revealed in public anymore. I'm a very transparent person for the most part. There's a few things in my personal life that I don't, talk about, but, that's my choice. And I don't like to give up my whole essence of being so that I have nothing sacred to hold on to, right?
Playing with caution.
Yeah, play with caution. And, all this, and I'm going to say it straight out, and I am on YouTube, but YouTube allowing a lot of this bullshit about this Matrix and aliens and everything, I don't know if I believe in that. I don't believe in a lot of shit that's falsely allowed to play for people to, get lost and caught up in. Like, that's not fair, because you just want to be an arrogant fucking asshole is what it is. That's what I take from that. Right? So, I speak my mind. I don't sugarcoat. I'll take every channel. I'll pull up a channel right now and tell you how I feel about it. And it'll be how I feel about it. It's not going to change anything, right? Because I'm not being vocal enough. I'll be vocal. Trust me on that.
Entering the east.
I will enter that realm just to be vocal. Well, it's not even that it's like scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. It's not a requirement. I don't have to scratch your back. You scratch your own back and bring that energy in. And I'll give you a pat on the back. I don't need to scratch your back. But, give you the acknowledgement that, your spiritual awakening. Yeah, so 10 of Swords, more like it all stabbed into your back, not the 10 of Wands. You want the 10 of Swords, I think you meant there. But it's an experience that, a lot of people have some similarities in that are different. They could arrive at different, stages of it, but we all seem to end up arriving at the same stage sooner or later. And that, that place for me is almost done. Like, I don't have really, I'm not saying bad, I'm not thinking negative, but you know, I'm going to leave here, this existence, a whole person. I'm not going to be leaving any energy behind. And, you know, that freaks me out because I don't know if I'm ready for that. You know what I mean? Like that whole leaving here without being a whole soul and body by the time I do die, I think is the most fearful part of it all, that I'm not going to be, that I'm going to end up losing my life before I'm done, before I've lived it. You know what I mean? Like I've spent, like I said, half my life, you know, just complying to society's wants and needs, and spent the rest of it, you know, with everybody else. Oh, somebody's messaging me here. Hang on one sec, guys. What the hell? Oh, that's not for me. Sorry. Hang on one second. Hang on one sec, guys. Unmute. Okay, so you know, all I can do is share my experiences and, you know, what my understanding of it is, and you know, if there's warnings to be had, then I will give those too. It depends on how you take the information from here and apply it in your life, right? You can apply it in a positive sense, or you can just throw it in the garbage for all I care. It's not gonna, I'm not gonna know the difference, you know, and it's not gonna hurt me any, you know. So you're off again, Ashley. All right. So if you want, we'll be on for a little bit, or see us on Discord. Hopefully you've got your Discord account set up so we can go there after. And, you know, that's another place that we can, you know, not spend so much time making these long videos that I'm making, and then we can have a Q&A session over there after. That's what I was kind of setting it up for, so we're not doing these really long, drawn-out videos. But yeah, so Discord after. I should actually be on there right now doing this, but we're doing it here. So for future reference, from today, we're going to be using Discord, so we're not recording long videos for people to watch, and, you know, it's kind of pointless to take up that airtime, right? So Discord invite link is, I don't know if we've put it up for a bit, but I'll put it down in the comment for the video. I want comments to go down below in the comments description area, so that if you need to get to Discord, I'll type it in there. Oh, thank you, Daisy. You're such a lifesaver. So that's where we're gonna head to. I'm gonna actually cut this stream for now, and I'm logged in over there. I'm in there. I'm in the general room. Miss Scorpio is in for a bit. She went back to work. So we have like live vocal that we can actually hear each other talking, and it's more like hey, whenever you want to start working on yourself, Clarence, is fine by me. You know, take it at your own pace, right? You're not in a scheduled plan based on me. I can be here anytime for you to offer you guidance. So whenever you feel like doing it, hey, it's your path, and I'm not going to tell you how to live your path. You know, you live your path the way you best find it suitable, right? I'm just an avenue to get information and to help you and guide you, right? So however you want to pull your path together, that's totally your choice. I don't have an influence on it. I just offer the options and the outlook, right? So. Okay, so Mr. What? Hop the hole. Oh, well, okay. Well, hello, welcome to Discord. So we're going to head over to Discord now, people. It's been two and a half hours doing a live stream. I don't want to waste more time on YouTube than I need to personally. So we have Discord, and Discord link is in the chat. So I'll see you guys all over there. Oops, backwards. All right, so I'm there, and I'll see you all on the side of the other